Boom! We are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Benzinga Live. Hey, Spencer, what day is it?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone out there is in the green today. Nice bounce back day for NASDAQ and tech today. Just to give you a rundown of what we've got going on, David Green will be joining us in a minute. We'll do some live trades with David. And then at 12:45, Robert Roy from WealthbuildersHQ will be joining us. After that, Christian Fromhertz from Tribeca Trade will be joining. And then Tim Quast from Market Structure Edge. So we've got a packed show today. A lot of information, a lot of good guests. I think at some point Tiny Pie Biden will be speaking today. I'm not sure. I don't know if the markets will react to it. Apparently, they said it's not about, shutting the economy down or anything. So we'll see. We'll definitely be doing coverage of that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get the show started and bring David on. Here we go. Give me 1 second.
This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Meta Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a breaking news.
Alrighty, guys. I know you don't want just me up here talking about what stocks I'm trading, so I'm going to go ahead and bring my good friend David Green on the stream. David, how we doing?
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome, my Benzinga family. Pleasure to be back with you guys.
Woo! All right, guys, and you know where to find David. We'll talk about it, but you can go to WealthbuildersHQ or maybe his room if he's letting any more peeps in there. I'm not sure. We'll discuss that, but let me go ahead and pull David's screen up. We'll see what he's trading today. How's it been, David? Pretty good bounce back day, huh?
It's been a good bounce back day, but I have to tell you, and we always tell everybody early in the morning trading, if you had an opinion this morning, things didn't work out too well, right? We started out with the futures up and everything looking really good, but some of the stocks that we watched this morning that we always watch, like an Apple and an Nvidia, if you had an opinion early in the morning in these things, you were hurting for certain. So one of the things we stress is we always let everything open up and set up. We don't hope in the morning that things are going to continue to go up. Me, I certainly don't hope, and I try not to even think. So if you were Jack B. Nimble today really tested our trading mettle. It really did. Things moved very, very quickly early in the morning, and technical analysis was a beautiful thing for us again today. One of the stocks we concentrated on today was Sava, right? Sava is one of the stocks that does what it did today every couple of months when some rumor comes out that their drug or whatever it is being approved. It wasn't being approved. They were being investigated. They weren't being investigated. There was a rumor this morning that there was no wrongdoing done, in whatever they were doing with their drug. And this is what happened to this thing this morning, right? The stock was up 20 points this morning and got right to one of our pivot points at about 58 bucks. And you can see what happened from there. That was a nice short. We didn't get involved in Sava until it pulled all the way down here the first time. And if you guys know, I'll go over the technical analysis we use a little bit, right? We use our 4 moving averages, a 9, a 15, a 65, and a 200. And you see the first time this pulled back to our 65 EMA around 44 bucks. That was about 10.10. The stock gave us a $2 bounce. And the first time even better. And this was a spot that we wanted to be a little aggressive at, because now we had gone down from 55 to 41.50. This is our 200 EMA, and we quickly went from 41.50 up to $44. So again, guys and girls, everything is technical analysis. Even in these wild, crazy stocks, you just got to be patient. You got to be disciplined. You got to wait for your technical analysis to set up, and don't have opinions in things. When you have an opinion in a stock, sometimes that can get you in a lot of trouble, right? I even had a bunch of people in my room today that loved Apple this morning. I love Apple, Dave. I think Apple's going to continue going up from this morning. The stock went down $3.50 from where it was pre-market. And it really hasn't set up for a trade since then, and now we're kind of sitting right in the middle. You know what the bottom line is, Aaron? The volatility has been spectacular. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and I mean that's a lesson that anyone trying to day trade, you got to learn it, whether you learn it from the get-go or you learn it the hard way. What a stock is doing in the first, say 15 minutes of the open from 9:30 to 9:45 is not always indicative of what that stock's going to do for the rest of the day, right?
100%, yeah. And we always, my mantra in the morning is take it easy. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to trade. We traded, 10 minutes after the market opened, but when things set up for us to trade. So the important thing is to not get caught in the hype before things open and have a position because you think something is going to continue going. We're looking at Tesla right now, guys, and Tesla made a low of 886 this morning. Look at that giant bounce that it had. And we just had a short setup right around 905.18. And we can see, look at this. We were a little late getting there, guys and girls, but this is our 65 EMA, right? So let me explain to you guys what just happened here. When a stock is going up, we look for levels to short it based on our technical analysis. That is a resistance level. So this stock just exactly hit our 65 EMA at $905.34 and gave you a quick $2 trade. These are the types of trades that we're looking for all day long. And we would have been in and out of the trade already. If you make between $1.50 and $2 in Tesla, that's a great trade. But here's your technical analysis. Now, if we bust through here in Tesla, and the market is really starting to take off right now, right? I'll show you in a minute. 908.44 is our 200 EMA in Tesla. That would be the next spot that I want to short Tesla. Now, I do not recommend beginning traders running in and trading Tesla. If you're going to, you just trade it with a much smaller size. But you can see how after a stock went up, 886, $18, it hit that little resistance there and gave a little trade. So the next spot, and I'm going to put a little order in, guys, in Tesla at 908.40. I'm going to look at NVIDIA in 1 sec, guys. The whole market's getting some big leggy poo-poos now, so let's take a look. We'll put a little order in Tesla just to prove the theory, and I don't trade more than 10 and 20 shares of Tesla, but there are people in my room that'll trade 400 or 500 shares of Tesla when it lines up. I'm going to put an order exactly where it tells me to at 908.43. There's my order.
I'm seeing it looks like Netflix is having a little breakout right now too.
Everything's having a little breakout. We just shorted a little Myrna here. Let me take a look at it and see why. I don't know if I wanted to do that with the market doing this, but we're in it small, Myrna. I left this order out there. Let's try to cover a little, guys, if we get to 267 in Myrna. Keep it tight in Myrna. Let's just have a 50-cent stop. I didn't short in Myrna because we had a little 15-minute EMA up there that it kind of just got through, so we'll try to get a couple of bucks out of Myrna. Otherwise, we'll keep it very tight. See if we can get a little pullback from here. But if we look at the whole market is just really exploding now. So you got to be careful on the short side of anything right now. All right? The whole market's going up. What did you just mention, Aaron?
Netflix.
Let's take a look.
It's a service that you can stream shows and movies on.
Yeah, let's take a little look longer term. I mean, right now it looks great. Look, there isn't any stock that doesn't look great. Everything looked like crap 15 minutes ago, and now everything looks really good. Let's take a look a little longer term in that. I'm on a 1-minute chart. Let me get to a 5-minute. Yeah, I mean, it's breaking out like every other stock that we're watching right now. Let's go daily in Netflix and see where we're at. I mean, Netflix has gotten really beat up, right? So we're starting to see a little turn here in Netflix. So let's see where we're at. We're at a little resistance at 602, and then we got nothing up until really 618. Now, this is quite a reversal we're having this morning, huh? Look at us now. Let's check the spiders. We're almost at a double top in the spiders. Almost. This morning's high, I think we just went through it, as a matter of fact. We did. We just went through the double top in the spiders. Oh, look at that, guys. All right, we covered a little Myrna. So let me show you our Myrna, what we just did. Again, this was based on a 15-minute chart. Let me show you guys. So very, very important. I'm going to give you guys a real treat next week if you allow me to. Let's just cover the rest of this at 267 if we can, guys, and try to get 50 cents out of it. Give me 1 second, Adam. Let me just get this order out there. week is our boot camp, right? And I usually we're out. So let me show you this, guys. We just picked up 50 cents on a Myrna trade based on our 15-minute EMA. We sold it short at 267.50, and we bought back at 267. Very, very important. This is what I want to talk to you guys about, if it's all right with Aaron. Next week is our boot camp, okay? And I don't usually come on with you guys, but if you allow me, Aaron, for that half hour next week, I will come on and give you guys whatever portion of our boot camp that we're doing for a half hour. And what it's going to be next Tuesday is exactly what we just looked at. Chart setup, technical analysis, and learning how to read our charts on multiple time frames.
So just the next Tuesday, same time?
Next Tuesday, same time. Yeah, and I'll give you guys a treat. I'll give you actually part of the actual live boot camp that we're going to do.
Beautiful. Let's do it. I love it.
Yeah, we'll do that. Guys, everybody get in and out of Myrna for a quick 50 cents there is good. Let me check Tesla, see what that's doing. All right, so look at Tesla, everybody, okay? It got to 907.90. We were offering at 908.40. We missed that by 50 cents, right? In a $900 stock, and it just gave a $3 trade for that level. Oh, we'll cancel it now because we didn't get it. But again, that would have been another perfect technical analysis setup. So I'll share with everybody, guys, what we're using for technical analysis. We use 4 moving averages, a 9, a 15, a 65, and a 200. And the easiest way I can put this, when a stock is going up, we look for it to hit resistance and get short. And when the stock is going down, we look for it to hit the support and get long. Next spot to short Myrna, let's take a look. And sometimes we have 10, 15 trades in the same stock the same day. Yeah, so now we're looking at Myrna, right? We took our little profit out of the trade. Our next resistance is our 65 EMA at 270.11. So when we're using our technical analysis, guys and girls, we don't think, I try not to think, thinking gets you in trouble, especially during trading. And we certainly don't hope, right? I don't hope something's going to happen in a stock. I wait till it does. My chart tells me what to do, and that's where we put our orders. If it gets to those levels, it's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't, we look for another trade. So my 65 EMA is at 270.11. That's where my order is. We'll wait and see if the stock gets there. Sell short the date, buy long the date. Fuel
Yeah,
cell
Matty Ice, he was throwing out a call calendar spread on AMD. I've never done that, David, full disclosure. I've never done a calendar spread. I'm just looking for some straight up calls or puts to buy. I've got about $800 in my Robinhood to use before the end of the year. So if anyone's got any good trade ideas, put them in the chat. I'm not going to say I'll go out and do it, but I'll look at it, and if I also like it, then I'll do it.
Excellent. Yeah. Look, I'm the first to tell you I am no options expert. I know what I know, and I know some things about options, but we have people in the room that are option experts, and they'll do calendars, and they'll do spreads, and they'll do all that stuff. Basically, I think what Matty Ice is saying, it is a bullish call. Can we just say that, Matty? It's a bullish call on AMD to go higher than where the stock is right now. Let's go daily. And again, all these chip stocks have been extremely, extremely volatile for the last week or so, right?
Yeah.
If we look at AMD, guys, and again, you guys want to talk technical analysis, we went from 164 and hit our 65 EMA at $130. Look what happened when we hit that. I don't think we went below it by 50 cents and gave a nice swing trade for $10 or $12. Now we're right in the middle of everything. We need to get above, and we're not that far away. No, it's like 141. If we get back above 141 in AMD, then this little downturn has taken its course, and we can start going higher from there. But look at NVIDIA, too. NVIDIA has had the same kind of ride, right? Look at this. And it did the same thing. NVIDIA hit our level at 270. This was yesterday, I think, guys, right? Room people? Did NVIDIA hit 272 for us yesterday? Or 269? Yeah, I want to show you guys a weekly chart in NVIDIA. And we had a level in weekly chart of $269. It hit that by a few pennies yesterday and is up $12 today. So 269 was a great entry into NVIDIA yesterday. So now everything's kind of, what up, Easy Mike? We got to wait for the next move in the market now. You know, NVIDIA could be a better buy from here if we get going. It's already been a very, very good day for us. So when we're having a good day, we tell everybody who's trading to cut your size, either that or just leave, but certainly cut your size. for the rest of the day. And we'll see what the next trade that sets up is. Anyone out there want to talk about any individual stocks? Please pop them up there. We'll take a look. Let's see if we can find something for Aaron. There was a couple of stocks that I really liked, but they reversed. UPST was one that we really liked, but it's had a nice turn up. Again, all these stocks are still in major downtrends. Facebook, let's look at Facebook. Palantir. All right, so Facebook, now, part of what we do, everybody, is also a little common sense, right? Facebook, we have a little level that might be a short at 330.50. But I'm looking at the overall market, and the market is just ripping up here. So common sense is going to tell me that I am not going to short the stock there. I'd rather be long Facebook than short. But here's a lesson that we're going to talk about next week, right? Let's look at other time frames on the chart and see if we can find another level that works. And people in my room already popped it up there. On a 4-hour chart, we have a level to short Facebook right here at 332.48 on a 4-hour chart. So if Facebook continues up here to that 332.48 level, that is going to be a short for us. And when I'm looking at stocks like Facebook now, my first inclination is to be long. I want to be long if it can pull back to one of our trend lines. If it gets really stretched out for a short, then we're going to get into that trade short. Myrna was a stock that we looked at this morning, and Myrna is always crazy wackadoodle, right? But when we got Myrna down to this level, and I think it was right around 260, we started buying a little. And we bought 260 and we bought 258. I don't think we got 256. We did not. But look at the relative strength in Myrna, guys, down here about 10 o'clock. It was down around 11. So for those of you who aren't familiar with relative strength, when a stock gets below 20 relative strength, chances are we're going to get a rebound. And when a stock gets above 80 relative strength, chances are we're going to get a pullback. So when we had a relative strength down here about 11, you can see what the stock did from a low of 258 to a high of 264 in the next 10 minutes. So as a little tip for everybody out there, and maybe you want to write this down, when stocks get a relative strength of 20 or lower, start looking for the stock to reverse. Eventually it's going to. Stocks don't stay that oversold for that long a period of time. Okay, so that's just a little, Myrna was beautiful this morning. We had 4 trades. Yes, we did. AVCT probably moving. Let's look at a firm. A couple of questions about a firm I see on that. Let's take a look. A firm's another stock that's been absolutely obliterated, right?
Yeah, I mean, it got as high as around $165. Now at around 100. But yeah, it's hard. It looks like on the past week or so, we've found some sort of a level where it likes, where it's not just going up and down crazy like it had been.
Correct. So here's the gig now. If you're looking at this stock, and again, if I was going to buy this stock now, it would be through options. I wouldn't buy the stock. And we've made a clear low. We made it twice, around $92 and $92. So, we have a little resistance at 101. We have a little resistance at 111. On a rebound, I could see us getting to 120. So if I was looking, and again, I'm not recommending anybody, but if I'm looking at a firm, I have my firm stop in at 92, and maybe we can get 20 points out of it if it starts to rally up a little bit from these lows. I think Roblex did the same kind of thing, right? It's another stock that got not as bad, but kind of the same thing. We went there. I'll tell you what we were looking at a little bit. We were looking at DKNG and 10 D factor, right? So look at DKNG, and we were talking about this in the mid-20s. And it's finally getting a little bounce, right? So we're coming to a big level in DKNG now, and it's not too far away. My daily resistance is 30.40, okay? So if we can get above this 30.40, which we're only like 30 cents away from, we have a nice room up to like 39. Let me just check the weekly. Yeah, the weekly too. So if we have bottomed in Donkey Kong, and again, I know it's DraftKings, I could easily see this stock going back to 35 bucks. So let's clear this little 30.50 area here. That's huge. So what I mean by that, why that's so big, guys and girls, that would be reversing a major downtrend for what? A month and a half? So this is a gigantic level.
But I mean, so if we're going to see DraftKings Donkey Kong come back to $35, I mean, it's already up, what, 7-8% today. So we
Correct.
couldn't really. Would we be looking for a move like that today, or through the rest of the week into next week?
Again, the only way, and let's take a look. I'll take a look at the options for you. The only way I would play this stock is with options. If you're going to be long this stock in a longer term portfolio, well, there's your sign on the land, 26, right? Let's get up the option chain and see what we got going here. So let's look at some 35 calls, right? Now, this is just a way to do it. All right, guys, we're going to cancel Myrna. Let me get this. Hold on one second. No orders, guys. This would be a great way to do DKNG with not a lot of risk. You know, Adam, you might want to throw $50 at this. Let's see. So let's go out to next week. Let's go out to next week, 10 days away. And we can see 35 calls at 24 cents, 25 cents, right? That gives you 10 days. Now, the stock doesn't have to get to 35 in order to start making money. It just has to break through here and start going higher, right? So you're talking about a $24 investment. If we can get through this 30, 40, 30, 50 level, it's $25 for a contract. You know, if the stock goes to 31, these are going to double. If it goes to 32, they're going to be 75 cents. So that's the way to play it if I was going to play DKNG, and I'm sure the chart on Penn looks exactly the same. So you want a cheap way to get in this thing? You buy some calls for next week for 25 cents and see if you can get the breakout above 30, 40. That's what I would be looking at in DKNG. And again, when you buy an option, right, you can only lose the amount you put in. So each contract is $24. That's all you can lose. That's it. That would be the way to do it. Can I go over that again, Zachary? I'll go over it again when we get out of Benzinga with these guys. BB has nice options just open. Let's take a look. Yeah, a couple things, guys, for my Benzinga peeps, okay? We're here today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So anyone who wants to come visit us for the next 3 days, it's dgreen927@yahoo.com. Next week is our boot camp. We have no visitors. But if you want to come hang out for the next 3 days, send me an email and I'll give you a link.
But you'll be able to get it. You'll be able to get a taste of the boot camp if you join us next Tuesday, same time, 11:30 a.m. David's going to give us a special little treat, so we're excited for that.
Yeah. All right, let me explain to you why I would not have done Tesla the second time up there, guys, because it busted right through, right? So, Brendo, here's what we look at. We just missed getting in that short the first time by less than $1, and it gave a quick $4 profit. And this is good for everybody. Again, write it down. When a stock tests a level for the second time, it is more likely to break through that level. It's just not going to be as strong. So here would have been our trade. We would have taken $2, $3 on it. Second time up, I am not making that trade anymore. So just look technically at my chart, right? We have 918, and then we have a double top it made this morning at 920. This looks to me now like it's setting up for a better buy. So if we can get a pullback down to the 901 level, I'd be a buyer in Tesla now. That would be down 10 points from where we just were. It would be in the uptrend. Hopefully it holds that uptrend, and we start going back up again from there. Again, everything is technical analysis. No, SoFi, we do not have a, well, some of my people in the room have a little position in SoFi. But we got back in this again at 14. We got out of it at 50. First time we got in at 14, we sold between 21 and 23. We got back in at 14, I think, last week when I was with you guys, and we sold at 15.75. I personally don't have a position in SoFi anymore. I'd like to see it get down to like the 13 level, and then I'll be starting to load up on that again. But yes, my story's still intact. I still like SoFi long term. 100%. I like it a lot. UPST, 147.16 on a 30-minute chart. And we have a pivot point up there for a short. So that works, Chris, if we get that. Everything right now, guys and girls, looks like a better buy. All right? I mean, the trend is your friend, guys. Look at the market, right? So that's another important lesson. I'm not looking to short stocks now, guys, unless they give me a far from moving opportunity or I see something that is really stretched out. I want to be a buyer of stocks. When the market's going up like this, I need stocks to pull back to my levels so that I can buy them now. I mean, that's just trading one-on-one, guys and girls. Don't fight the trend, right? And don't have an opinion. And it's amazing what these stocks are doing after what they did this morning. And, you know, they're coming back a little bit. You know, NVIDIA was 286 this morning. The stock went down 15 points. trying to climb back up there again. Pfizer took 50% on foots today. Overnight trade, March contract 50. Very nice elite trading. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good for you.
What about, so we've been having a lot of people ask us about Disney.
Yeah. I'll tell you about Disney, okay? Because we had a couple of traders in the room get in this stock on the weekly level. And look at the chart again, guys. We had a stock go from 203. Our weekly level, guys, was 142.10. It changed a little bit. The stock hit 142.04. So this is a swing trade, okay? When any stock hits a weekly level, especially at Disney, that was down what? 30%, right? That was a spot to get into Disney. And now look now, it gave you a nice trade, and now we're kind of hanging right in the middle of everything. But if you guys can get some technical analysis up on your charts, these moving averages, I don't care which one you use, and you look for stocks to hit daily and weekly levels after having gigantic moves like this, that is a spot to start investing in these stocks or certainly getting in for a trade. So again, that's where we were looking at Disney, and now we're kind of right in the middle. Would I do anything in Disney now? No, I wouldn't do anything in Disney now. It's right in the middle of everything on a daily and a weekly chart. But the opportunity was there.
But for a guy like me, I mean, I'm 24. I'm pretty confident that 20 years from now, when I have kids, Disney's still going to be around, right?
100%, and it'll be much higher than it is right now. Yes.
Okay.
Because that's the way of the world. But for investors who aren't in any of these stocks, these are the kind of opportunities we look for to start getting in if you're not in a stock. Look, do I think it matters if you buy Disney at 140 or 150 right now? 5 years from now? No, I don't. I don't at all. Apple's a stock you guys know I've owned for 30 years, right? But I sold a bunch of my Apple when it got really stretched out on a daily and a weekly level. Now I'll look to get back in if we can get some pullbacks to levels where I can just put back, replace what I sold. But no, a stock like Disney I love forever. A stock like Apple I love forever. Stocks like that are not going anywhere.
That's how I am. I think so. I've got my list of stocks that I like to trade that are volatile, that I like to mess around with options on. Then I've got my stocks that I just love long term that I don't plan on ever selling. My Apples, my Nvidias, my Disneys. But
Nvidia's another one, yes. Yeah, and that's what you should be doing at 24 years old.
Yeah,
100%. I mean, I have stocks that are older than you, so I'm in a little different position. But for anyone out there who's watching us that is Adam's age or younger, around that age,
Aaron,
I'm sorry, is around that age, instead of buying a new Apple iPhone, I'd rather buy one share of Apple. You're going to do both anyway, but buy the stock also. All these stocks, the ones that we're talking about, are going to be around forever. I mean,
alrighty, all right. Well,
anything can happen anytime. I know we got to go. dgreen927@yahoo.com. Send me an email right now. I'll let you guys in my room. Benzinga Pro. Everybody out there should be using Benzinga Pro. We give a 2-week free trial on Benzinga Pro. Please, everybody, I could not trade without using Benzinga Pro. It's important to me as all of my moving averages. Thanks for the time.
Beautiful. Well, we have a few more minutes. If you've got a couple more minutes to hang out, I just want to ask the chat one last time. If you've got any stocks you're looking at, throw them in the chat. We'll take a look at the chart. And let us know. It'll be helpful, too. If you throw a ticker in the chat, let us know what time frame you're looking on it. Are you looking at it for a long-term investment? Are you looking at it for a quick trade? And then we'll be able to have a better idea when we're looking at it, kind of what lens you're looking at it on.
I love K. Yes, Sally, great job in TQQQ. One of the traders in my room was buying TQQQ this morning. He started at 148, added at 147 and 146, and the stock is now 151. Thinking we get a turnaround in the market, so that was great, guys. It's holy mackerel. KK is in the room, still asking about Neo and Baba. All right, Aaron, you pick, and we'll talk about it.
Between Baba and Neo,
let's go Baba.
All right, Baba's up today. I mean, yes. I don't know what to think about Baba. I keep thinking, okay, we finally reached the bottom, and then it keeps moving lower. So
it's a tough stock only because of what's going on in China. Do I think Bob is going anywhere? Probably not. I do not think it is. And if it's not, I mean, the stock is ridiculously cheap, right? We got to $108. This is another one, guys. If we get above like 125, I mean, we have a gap to fill up to 160. I'm not saying it's going to do that, but I'm just going by technicals, right? if we get above 125 in BABA, we reverse this little daily downtrend. I don't think the stock's going anywhere. That's just my personal opinion. So above 125 would be my signal in BABA that we might get the old clear and get a bigger bounce from here. It's not like their earnings were bad or anything. Their earnings are always good. So
BABA people are just scared of these Chinese names in general. But I mean, like you said, compared to other companies, BABA is trading at well below the average, to sales ratio, all this stuff. So it's no doubt cheap. It's just people don't want to take on that risk right now.
That's exactly right. I mean, fundamentally, the stock is very, very cheap, fundamentally. But, fundamentally doesn't mean anything. A stock is worth what people are willing to pay for it, right? And it's not worth what people want to sell it for. Let's look at NEO. Kind of the same situation in NEO, right? We finally got a little turnaround from the $27 mark. I mean, long term, the first thing that NEO has to clear is 31.20. That's the first spot that NEO has to clear to even think about starting going up from here. So that's what I think about. And that's not that far away, 31.20, 32.70.
No, I mean, if we keep moving the way we are today, we could hit that today.
Yeah, we could. Where's the trade? Let's look.
29.94 I'm seeing right now.
Almost $30. I'll tell you what my first inclination is as a trader, okay? Because I'm not long-term in this. I'll be shorting the stock if it gets to 32.70 because that is a huge level of resistance coming up from $28. I would be shorting it there for a trade looking to make a buck or two on a pullback. But that's different than, all right, let's talk about long-term because I think that's what people want to talk about. So we'll talk about long-term. What else we got? How can we join the boot camp? Rick, send me an email, and we'll get you in for the next 3 days. We'll take it from there. What else we got, Aaron? You want to look at something else? We got another minute?
Yeah, we got one more minute. Let me see. Jennifer from Miami wants us to look at Ford.
Aha, Ford. Good old Ford. Ford, to me, again, okay, this is just a long-term hold in Ford if you like it. The chart looks spectacular. Am I going to start a long-term investment in Ford, me personally, at $21 up from $11, 6-7 months ago? I would probably look for a little bit of a pullback for a better entry to get involved. But they're into the EV stuff now. I don't think they're going anywhere. As a matter of fact, I think they're in better shape than they ever were now, Ford. But I'd try to get a little bit of a pullback before I got involved in the stock on a longer-term basis.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got to remember, Ford was like a $7 stock at the start of the year. It's $18 now.
Yeah,
so
exactly. We're talking $7. Exactly. So the stock is up 200%, basically in a little more than a year.
Not bad. Not bad. All right.
If you're a shareholder.
We'll do last one. Ryan from Tallahassee wants us to look at Fubo.
Yes. Another stock that has
gotten beaten down.
Absolutely decimated. Right?
SmackDown. They got the WWE Raw SmackDown on Fubo.
$62 to $17. So I look at this as, even if you want to start getting in long term, right? I mean, again, we're finally starting to turn a little witsy. Number one, I'd probably do options upside, maybe 20, 25 options. But if you want to buy the stock now, okay, here's your line in the sand. The low that it made recently is $15. Let's just go at 15. You want to try to a little longer term investment in this, you buy it and your stop is 15. If the stop breaks the recent low, then it probably heads lower than that. So there's probably some decent risk reward in this, right? Stock down from, I don't even count 60, but let's say it's down from 30. Stock down from 30 that hit 15, it's got cut in half. There's good risk reward if you have a $2 stop in this and you want to buy a little bit right now, technically.
Yeah, that was crazy. This stock got all the way up to $60, but that was back in February when we had a lot of stocks just kind of running. But so what would be your sign? Would we got to cross a certain point before you like Fubo on the upswing coming back up?
Well, not even if you really believe in the story and you like it. You could buy a little right here, but your line in the sand has to be 15 if it goes down. So you're risking $2 here, and if you get a little turnaround, maybe you get $4 or $5 out of the upside, or maybe more. So I'm saying for anyone who likes this story and likes it long term, you can buy some here, but your line in the sand is if it goes down $2. That's it.
Beautiful. All right, guys, smash the like for David. Send him an email, dgreen927@yahoo. I'll throw that up on the screen one more time. He'll let you come out, check out the room for the rest of the week, as well as he'll be back on next Tuesday with us, showcasing his boot camp. So excited about that. David, if I don't speak with you before the weekend, enjoy your holiday, the time off on Friday. Yeah.
You too. Everybody have a great holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody. And we'll see everybody in the room on next Tuesday. And Aaron, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Of course. All righty, y'all. That was
Catch
David.
you later, David.
Oh.
Is my mic on?
Yeah. I can hear
Okay.
you.
I wasn't sure. If my volume's quiet, let me know.
You sound good. I agree, KHH. Dave is the man. You know, I aspire to do some of the things he's doing. He's been doing it a couple years longer than I have, but someday I'll be there.
I mean, the guy basically retired and moved to Boca.
That's
Or somewhere around Boca. I don't know exactly where David is, but you get the idea. South Florida, right? That's the idea, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just chilling down in Florida,
Yeah.
making some trades, be done by 11 a.m. every day.
Yep.
Maybe hit the golf course, go fishing. It'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to build here at Benzinga too, so I'd probably be doing that as well.
Building is fun.
Building is
Producer
fun.
Aaron Thomas is lurking. What do you want, man? What's up?
You
just making
wait,
sure.
come say hi.
You want to come say hi?
Aaron's got a cool
Come
outfit
on,
on
man.
today. No, Aaron's
Aaron,
got a cool outfit
Aaron.
on today.
Come on. Come say hi. Come show us your hat. Show us your hat, man.
Yeah.
All right, this is producer Aaron Thomas, everyone. Say hi, producer Aaron Thomas.
What's up? How's it going, everybody? Happy holidays.
Nice hat, man.
Thank you,
Where'd you
thank
get
you.
it?
Eddie Bauer.
It says Eddie Bauer.
I know,
one.
but from
Maybe
this,
thought it was Ready Brower.
because
Ready
of the
Bauer.
right there. Look, wait, turn right. See the R almost looks like it's part of the Eddie, so it
does.
looked like Ready. Thank you.
Thank
It
you.
wasn't just me.
Thank you.
I didn't know if it was like a pun because it's a red
mistakenly,
hat.
I'm wearing a fully Eddie Bauer outfit. I had no idea.
And this show is sponsored by
To be sponsored by Eddie Bauer.
Eddie Bauer.
Aaron Thomas, Merry Christmas, man.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. All that good stuff.
Happy New Year.
Double Aaron.
Everybody, like and subscribe.
All right. Peace out.
I don't
Aaron
know
Thomas.
if anyone could hear Aaron. I just
No, he said like and subscribe if you didn't hear him.
Yeah. He also-
all right.
yeah.
Speaking of New Year and Happy New Year and all that stuff, I have a small ask to make of all of you kind people watching our show right now. I just put a link in the chat, and I'm going to bring the link up on the screen. Okay, this is the Benzinga YouTube 2022 Improvement Survey. It is completely anonymous. We are not asking for any of your information. We're not going to know who you are when you fill it out, but we are asking for feedback from our great community. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to see next year? Okay, the link is in the chat. It is obviously completely free, and we encourage any and all participation because we take feedback very seriously here, good, bad, otherwise. We live off of feedback. It is a culture. It is a part of the culture that our founder Jason Raznick imbued in us, imbued in the company from the early days here. It is critical to the growth of our business. Is feedback from the community, because we work for you. We're not doing this for our health. We do it for the community. And so if there's anything you want to see for next year, drop it in the survey. Is the survey COVID free? Yes, the survey is COVID free. You can do it from your quarantine. You can do it from your lockdown. You can do it from the park. Wherever. Do it from anywhere. Actually, I suppose you need a Wi-Fi connection to do it from somewhere. So,
I have another ask too. We're asking a lot today.
Wait, Mike says, Mike, we don't care how long you've been doing this. What do you want to see? What do you want to see, man? Tell us what you want. We will do our best to make it happen. What was your ask?
My ask was that if you have Robinhood, go to the homepage. You can click on little 3 dots on the articles to give feedback. There's a bunch of Benzinga articles on the homepage. Please go there and click I like this. It gives us valuable feedback. It gives Robinhood valuable feedback. So if you have an account, Yeah, I'd appreciate
if you have a Robinhood account, it helps us if when you see our headlines in the app, to just tell Robinhood that you like it. How are they going to know you like it if you don't tell them that you like it? And plus, it makes us feel good about ourselves. But it's mostly so they know that you like it. Okay, so end of year survey. Just I'll put that back in the chat, and I'll make sure it's in the description of this video, in case it's not. So okay, AB, how we doing today? Market broadly higher.
Yeah.
So we're in a good mood.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. It was going to be interesting to see easy mics once more AB in the street. We'll make that happen. All right.
Yeah, more AB in the street.
Also, Jay Rice. All right.
What?
I gotta send Jay Rice swag, I guess, if I haven't already.
All right, hey, Aaron, can you promise to send out the swag before you leave today?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you. You guys heard it here. He promised on the stream he will send out. We got like a dozen people that we owe swag to. He will send it out before he leaves for the day.
Let me see if okay, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That one I think still has to get sent out.
All right, Jay Rice, we are sorry.
I'm gonna throw Jay Rice a little extra treat in there for the holiday for me being late. But
hey.
I still what up Richard Judge, how we doing? I still need something to YOLO trade before the day is over, because here's the way I see it, right?
Mm-hmm. This is your last show for the week.
It's my last show for the week. I've got about $800 in buying power in my Robinhood now.
So is that 1,600 with the leverage, or is that
no? I turned margin off.
Oh, you turned the margin off
because I thought if I turned margin off, I would. Jay, I don't think you're gonna get the swag before Christmas Day, unfortunately. I can see. I'll see if there's an express delivery.
Jay, haven't you heard? Supply chains are all clogged, bro.
2022 Christmas Day, you can wear it all day. I turned margin off because I thought if I did that and it was a cash only account, maybe that I could get out of my pattern day trading jail. Or as Ryan Faluna told me yesterday, I'm not in day trading jail yet. I'm in the cop car. If I behave well, they might let me go with a warning.
Yes.
So that's the status I'm in right now. But I have to sit in this cop car for like 90 days and behave well for 90 days, which is very hard for me.
It is.
But I don't know how long. I mean, how long has this been going on, Spence? Like a month? So it should only be like 60 days now.
I don't think it's been a month.
Is it 90 trading days or 90 days in general?
You know, I'm never quite clear about that.
Because if it's 90 trading days, that might as well be like a year.
Isn't that like half the year? No, I don't know.
It's gotta be a lot.
I'm never quite clear when in the context of stocks in the market, whenever people refer to days, I never know, are they referring to like market days or like days? Regardless, Aaron, I have a stock for you to trade.
Okay.
For today, and it's an easy one, and it's cheap. Well, I shouldn't say it's cheap. It's low priced. BlackBerry.
I know. I think options just opened up on BlackBerry too. Or
they have earnings tonight, my man. Are you in or you out? Are you in or you out?
I'm in. I don't know if I'm in long or in short. I'll have to do some digging.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Srinivasa.
Srinivasa says it's 90 days. So it's 3 months. All right. So it's been like 2 weeks, man.
But you never even. I need 27K. Wait, how do I? Yeah, Brian, I need to. Yeah, I would love to make 27K off this $800. If you got any ideas, let me know. But my thing is, I could pull this $800 out. Buy my family something nice for Christmas, my siblings and mom and everything.
Why would you do that?
But why? But wouldn't it be cooler
if
I used that $800 and made like $5,000, and then I could use that for even better Christmas presents?
The logic is sound.
And then if I go broke, I've got some Benzinga swag I can bring.
The logic is sound. I see no problems with there. It sounds all good to me.
Tesla option, easy. I've been getting killed in Tesla options. Every time I trade it, it just goes the other way.
You got to sell premium, man. You got to sell.
Yeah.
You got to sell.
I can do credit spreads. I don't have enough collateral to like actually sell puts or calls outright.
Okay. Can I let me do this? Let me look at BlackBerry for you, okay? I'm going to go to a place and I'm going to look up what BlackBerry does. after earnings.
Well,
okay?
okay, so give me the story on BlackBerry because I know they
Meme stock story.
No.
Okay,
But I know they're like rebranding as like a
okay.
it's like a 5G play
Okay.
now. What is what?
I'll give you the story. I owned BlackBerry.
You own a BlackBerry phone?
No, I mean like I owned the stock.
Okay.
Like I got talked into it.
Okay.
This was in like I don't know, February or January.
Before it ran up?
Yeah, but before it ran up, I got talked into BlackBerry, and then I sold it. Oh gosh, I don't remember when I sold it. I didn't participate in the whole move, but I did. I got talked into it on the way up. Here, let's do this. Let's pull up a chart. I'm sharing a crypto heat map, but let's share a different screen. Let's pull up a BlackBerry chart here. Get in my handy dandy Benzinga Pro. Bring it up on the screen. Okay.
I mean, they've beat their last 2 quarter. Wait, this makes no sense. It's in. Is this wrong, Spencer?
What?
It says Q1 2022 beat Q2 2022.
Their fiscal year could be just off. You know what I mean?
They're already in 2022.
Could be.
All right. Well, then I'm bullish because they're ahead of us.
That's it. Yo, they're already in next year.
Yeah.
So all right,
they're so far ahead of us.
I got talked into BlackBerry at like I think it was like $7 or $8. This is in January, and I sold it. I think at like 12.
All right, I'm sold. We're buying calls.
So no. But the idea was you're right. It's a 5G play. They're
Right.
not.
I'm just saying what's like. So obviously, BlackBerry was a smartphone manufacturer, seller, whatever, one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Now that is not the core business model.
Right.
What is the core business model?
The other core business was every connected car needs to have an insane amount of software. Right, all cars today have insane amount of computer, right? Like a gajillion computers in them. Right, BlackBerry. The idea here is that BlackBerry would be like the leading provider, one of the leading providers of software and computers for connected cars. Make sense? So if you think of every car as a computer on wheels, then BlackBerry is like the software inside the computer on wheels. That was the idea. Now, has that played out? Well, not really. And so now it's a meme stock. But let's pull up BlackBerry's earnings history here. And let's take a look and see how it behaves out of its report. So let's do this. Let's take a look. All right. BlackBerry. On the day of its, this is tough. On the day of BlackBerry earnings, so the day after, so that would be like tomorrow because it reports tonight. On the day after, this stock, it's 50-50, man, higher versus lower. There's no real trend. Yeah, that's tough. Oh man, yeah. There is not a great trend here. Okay, so this isn't. No, it's not. Okay,
Proton 73. I remember my mom had a Palm Pilot. I used to play on that thing. Fun, good times. All right, I'm telling you, I'm in. I'll buy some BlackBerry calls if they hit. Great, everyone's getting whatever they want for Christmas. If they don't, then I'll still bring something. I'll make something happen.
How about this? From December 2018 to for the next year and a half, BlackBerry traded lower after its report in the first 24 and 48 hour periods after its report. It traded lower after every single report from late 2018 to mid 2020. Now, the last 4 quarters, it has traded higher in the day after its report, with the exception of its most recent report in September of this year. That broke a streak of 4 quarters in a row where BlackBerry had traded higher the day after, or closed higher the day after its report. So there's not really much of a trend here. I don't know, man. That doesn't tell me a lot. So let's just pull up an options chain and see what we got. Do we have anything?
On BlackBerry?
Yeah.
Ooh, it did just dip in the last like 5 minutes, so it might not be a bad time to get in some. All right, so if I want to buy some, let's see, it's 9.34 right now. If I want to buy some, what, $10.50 calls, let's say the stock goes up 10%.
That 10%.
Is that a lot? That's a lot.
That's a lot. So
All right, so what if I bought $10 calls? It's 9.35 right now. If I bought $10 calls, they're 37 cents. I could buy about 20 of them.
I'm sorry, say it again. $30 calls, is that what you said?
No, $10 calls. $37 cents. 37 cents. I could buy about 22 of them or something. I would really need them to freaking crush it. But it looks like, I mean, it's up 5. Like, I don't know. Zunaid, yes, I did close my Netflix calls. Yep, 10.37 is the break even. I don't know. Can we expect that big of a move? Give me some other options. I like this. We'll come revisit it. Give me some other options to YOLO trade. I'm looking for something like buy today, sell tomorrow.
All right, not BlackBerry.
Not BlackBerry?
Oh, that's what you just asked for?
No, I'm not putting this off the table. I just want to explore my options.
Okay,
I'm like, like you start dating a girl and she's great, but you're not ready to commit yet. So you want to, see other people for a minute to see if there's something better out there, maybe.
I see. Okay.
Expected move is 127 on Black J Rice. I love you. All right, you're definitely getting something for Christmas.
I was also wondering at that, but I was not going to say anything.
About what?
What the expected move was.
I don't even know how to find that.
Dude, you go to the at the money put, the at the money call, you add them up, and there's your expected move. More or less. Matt, did I get that right? More or less?
It was Jay.
Jay, did I get that right? I more or less got that right.
Nate, no problem. I'm always here to talk. If you need anything, guys or girls, doesn't matter. We can talk about it.
Nate Guzowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Okay, welcome to the show, Nate Guzowski. Ricky says check out ARDS. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. It's a pharmaceutical. Is it a biotech or a pharmaceutical?
Either way, hands off. How do I change my chart? Where's my chart? Let's get that off the screen. Come on. There we go.
Oh, hey, you know what next week is? Or not next week, the week after? Following week?
The first week of 2022.
True. But you know what also it is?
Your birthday?
No, my birthday's in May. We've talked about this. Our birthdays are both in May.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the first anniversary of January 6th.
Okay.
Is there a stock? Is there a way we could play that?
No.
No. DWAC maybe?
No. I mean, maybe like Smith & Wesson or RGR. You want to do RGR?
What's RGR?
Stern Ruger?
Ruger?
Shelly, my birthday is May 15th. Write it down. Don't you dare forget it.
Okay, Brian. See, Brian, I like the idea there. Some spy caller puts for tomorrow. The problem is there are other names that will move more than SPY will itself. So I'm looking for one of those names that could be either up or down 10% tomorrow. So I like the fact that with BlackBerry, we have the earnings, we have a catalyst. So anything along those lines, it doesn't have to be an earnings catalyst, but if there's anything else, maybe, yeah. May 17th. No, wait, I thought yours was May 15th.
Yep, that's what I said.
So, Shelly, it's me. Oh, you're right. You're right, Shelly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And by the way, we're going to have Robert Roy on in like 15 minutes or so.
Oh, so I could ask it. But the problem is, but Rob doesn't Rob doesn't like me to just YOLO trade options.
Rob does not like it when you do that.
He wants me to do spreads that will be high probability of hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Rob wants to hit singles. I'm trying to hit not just a home run. I'm trying to hit Grand Slam.
Yeah.
I'm trying to Fernando Tatis.
Senior.
2 Grand Slams, 1 inning
At the same time.
Chan Ho Park.
Okay. Who just asked about?
Roblox. Kendra Duke is right. Roblox is probably a good one to. It's probably going to move a lot.
My internet just froze up. So 1 second.
All right, Spencer's going to join us back in a minute.
No, I'm still here, but I saw a question about Canopy growth, and I wanted to address that, but my
Canopy got downgraded
my
yesterday,
computer
right?
just there we go. Okay.
What happened with Canopy yesterday? Got downgraded? Some big news?
No, it didn't get. It didn't get downgraded.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
There was a deal. Who was the deal? It was. It was a Green Thumb. Oh man!
But you know what I don't understand? So I don't even know if we're allowed or supposed to be talking about this stock. But isn't Rocket just ridiculously cheap right now? Like, why should I not be adding this to my long-term portfolio right now?
Oh, but it was Planet 13, and they bought Greenwave. Planet 13 is the largest one, the largest cannabis stock that I don't own, the largest multi-state operator that I don't own.
Planet 13's one with just like the crazy dispensary out in Vegas, right?
Yes, that's the one that we went to.
I didn't.
Well, Benzinga went there.
Okay.
Why
Sorry to
isn't
clarify.
Rocket doing good? It's a great question.
No, I'm just saying, like, it seemed like I'm looking at the stock right now. I know we don't need to go just solely off the PE, but the PE is 7. It's a huge company. They make a lot of money, I think.
No, you don't need to think. You can just look in the pro and see their revenue. It's ridiculous.
Right. So why, like, at a $15 stock, like, this seems like an obvious one for me to just be adding to my long-term portfolio, no?
Look, this is a stock that we know Jason Raznick is long and strong. I frankly don't look. So their revenue last quarter was over $3 billion. Now, it is worth noting that on a year-over-year basis, their revenue was down. So are their earnings. This is a company that was affected by COVID and is sort of at the mercy of the housing market. But that being said, rising rates, which we are entering into a period of, would seem to be good for a company like Rocket.
Well, Jay Rice is saying the opposite. He's saying if rates go up, we'll struggle.
Really?
Well, think about it.
Why would that be the case?
Because people are able to buy more properties and properties that maybe they wouldn't normally be able to afford with the low rates. And so if rates go up, then you have to pay more for money you're lending to buy a house. So it's going to slow down the housing market. Correct? Incorrect?
No. Okay. On a dollar-to-dollar basis, there's an argument to be made that home affordability is actually better now than it was 30 years ago. When you factor in the idea that people that are getting mortgages today are getting mortgages at, 4 or 5% interest, and my parents got a mortgage at 10% interest. So while the cost of a down payment has gone through the roof, the lower interest rates has been helpful. I would have thought that rising rates would help a company. I will also admit that I'm definitely not an expert here, so I'm kind of talking out of my ass, but I had assumed that rising rates would benefit a company like Rocket. I don't know why Rocket and UWMC have not been performing well. I really don't. I don't know the space. Maybe we should get an analyst on the show.
Let's do it.
Maybe we should get an analyst on the show who knows what the hell they're talking about. And rather than listen to Aaron and I try to figure it out but have no idea, let's just ask someone who knows more than we do. Let's make that a project for next year.
You know what I learned, though, about analysts and just how the system works?
Please tell us.
Which isn't true for every single analyst or company out there, but for a lot, is the analysts get access a lot of times by being bullish.
Sure, of course they do.
So a lot of times analysts are bullish on a stock, and then they get access that other analysts or people don't have. And so sometimes there could be, I feel like, a bullish bias for some analysts out there.
It's 100% a bullish bias out there from analysts, for sure, because think about why their job exists, right? Their job exists as a service that their bank offers, a service that their bank sells to clients. Hey, look at our amazing, in-depth, knowledgeable research. Look at the access that we have. Look at the access we have to the C-suite, to the executives, to the CFO. Our guy has or girl has their finger on the pulse of this company. You need to get this research. You should definitely pay us for this research. You don't get good access by like shitting on a company. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if I'm the CEO of a company, why would I, give you my time if you're just gonna shit on me?
Right.
all
If
the
I
time?
say, oh my God, I think Tesla is so overvalued here, I'm downgrading it to a sell. Oh, hey, Elon, can I talk to you about? He'll be like, get out of here.
Yeah. So there's definitely a bullish bias to, broadly speaking, to the ratings on Wall Street, and that is why, downgrades, sell ratings are so notable because they fly in the face of that bias.
Do I, Matty Ice, if I go long puts on Palantir, is there a catalyst that I'm looking for? Did I move it long in the short term?
I'm long.
I'm not. I don't like Palantir.
Am I up today?
Yeah, you're up.
Hey now, we're up. Do we get any?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Okay, that was a long sound effect. Jeez, who made that? All right. Sorry guys, I didn't realize that was so long. I'm up in something. Congratulations to me. Hey Aaron, we were asked a question on live trading today. I'd be curious to get your take. Do you have any forever positions?
Yeah, Nvidia.
Is that the only one?
I'll never sell Nvidia.
Is that the only one?
Apple?
Nvidia and Apple.
Yeah.
You'll never sell those. Okay, I dig it.
I have Ford too in my Roth IRA. I don't plan on selling Ford, but
I dig it. All right.
mean, never say never, right, Spence?
Well, you just said never. You just said you'll never sell Nvidia. I'll never sell Disney. I mean, never say never, but I'll never sell Disney.
Right. I mean, I don't plan on selling Apple, Nvidia, for basically anything in my Roth IRA. QuantumScape, like that thing could go to zero. I'm not gonna sell it.
Ride or die, man.
Yeah,
Ride
I'm
or
going
die.
down. I'm going down with this ship. Oh, have you? You've seen Seinfeld, obviously, right?
Obviously.
Do you know? I don't know if you'll know like the exact episode, but I've been watching some old Seinfeld episodes on Netflix just because I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. So it's nice to like put on in the background. You don't really need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
But there's an episode where George comes to Jerry with like a hot stock tip.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
And they buy into it, and it's funny because they're checking the paper every day for the stock quotes, and it's like, geez, like could you imagine like that's how you get your stock quote? You get it once in the morning, and you have no clue what it's doing throughout the day. But at one point, it starts tanking, and Jerry sells, and George sits there, and he does this whole like dramatic thing where he's like, I'm going down with the ship, and then of course it ends up going back and. Coming back up.
Oh man. Yeah.
Wait, easy, Mike. What AMD? Are you saying you're up 140% in the calls, or you're saying buy the 140 calls? Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you. He was one step ahead of me.
Okay. Is that something that we can consider? And the other thing that I want to do, and I only have a week or so to do it, is I don't have that much cash on the sidelines, but I also don't have a shopping list right now. I think it's always good to have a shopping list. It's always good to have stocks or anything on your list. Like, okay, these are things that I could buy, right? So I'm open to suggestions for a shopping list because I don't really have one right now. And I don't have like a ton of cash to deploy, but I got a little bit. I probably I could add, one or two new positions here. And I am buying more crypto, Brian. I actually am buying crypto on a monthly basis, so I that's taken care of. So I am buying more crypto. ALDX, man, I don't want to do biotech. I don't know what ALDX is. Let's look at ALDX. I don't know anything about biotech. That's why we have Vivi on this show. She knows more about it than I do. ALDX. Okay, what does the company do, Elite? Jesse. Wait, Easy Mike, didn't you say yesterday that BITW was your largest holding? What is BITW?
It's a Bitcoin futures ETF.
No, that's BITO and BIT.
It's a crypto in industry innovators ETF. So I'd imagine miners. I don't know.
Wait, it is? No, it's not.
Oh, this is cool.
No,
This is new on Robinhood.
Wait.
Okay.
It's a crypto. It's the Bitwise crypto.
Oh,
index fund?
so here's what happens when I type in BITW, the Bitwise Crypto Industry Innovators ETF pops up, but really the ticker for that ETF is BITQ.
Wait, I don't. So it's some sort of a crypto index. It's like a crypto index fund.
But easy, Mike. Well, the confusion here is because you're saying BITW, but that's not really the ticker for this ETF. It's BITQ. If we're talking about the same ETF.
No, I think he's talking about BITW.
Right, but he's saying BIT.
Wait.
What is
wait,
BITW?
wait. This was a private placement. Okay, I'm very confused. So I got it. All right. So it's kind of in a
this
way
is a crypto ETF.
it's kind of like GBTC. Not exactly, but kind of like GBTC, right? That's what I'm getting at here.
But Spencer, I've never seen this on Robinhood. This has to be new. I'm looking at this ETF on here, and you can see the holdings, what percentage of the holdings are, the sectors.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and it's very
That's sweet.
visually pleasing.
That's sweet. Mike says buy Wendy's. How is Wendy's doing? There's a Wendy's
Oh
near.
man, you walked right into that.
What, me? Did I just do something bad?
Nah, I'll wait for Mike to do it.
I don't know what I did. Oh, damn it. Stop. Come on, guys. It took me how long to get that?
Oh, it's too good.
Oh my gosh. Come on. This is a kid show, everyone.
No, it's not. It's a stock trading show.
This is a kid show. All right. Semler, bringing us back. Top 3 picks for 2022. Isn't that the title of today's show? We should probably talk about that.
Yeah, top stocks for 2022.
Okay.
So if you recall, if you've been a fan of Zinger Nation for a while, if you were here with us this time last year, Luke gave his 2021 stock of the year. It was Ford. That has worked out nicely. Where is? Let me see.
He's over at his desk.
Mr. Jacoby.
I think he's on the phone.
Once
waving.
he's finished with his call, will be joining us to give us his 2022 stock of the year.
It's not Ford.
If we get up to 100 likes.
Well, I don't know where we're at.
We're at 84.
Oh, that's painful. If we get to 150 likes, then we'll bring Luke on.
So here's one of the great things about Luke's pick for Ford is not only is it up, 150, 200% or since he gave it, but he found a cheap stock, right? It was $7 that shouldn't have been $7. Affordable. Yeah, we'll call it affordable. That's good PR spin, right?
No, it's not. Cheap can mean valuation. You know what I mean?
Affordable stock. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I have a couple stock of the years for 2022 that aren't quite as affordable, but do I think they will continue to move higher? 100%. And we'll talk about those.
See, what I would like to do is I would love for us here, and maybe I'll do this right now. And reminder, we'll have Robert Roy on in a couple minutes.
We'll
here.
just ask all of our guests for the rest of the day. Oh my God. Wait, where's
Hey, Christian, nice job there. So here's what I want to do. I would love to pull up.
Very nice.
That was very nice, Christian.
I would love to look at all of these stocks that have just been hammered, all these growth stocks that have been hammered, right? And let's find ones that we don't hate. You know what I mean?
Stocks that have been hammered that we don't hate.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm talking about like AI or Peloton.
Firm. What about just ARKK?
ARKK. Do we hate ARKK?
No, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I got nothing to hate about it. What do I got to hate about it?
But I mean, like, a lot of these have like stories that you're like, oh, I want no part of that. Like the Chinese education, like TAL, right? Chinese education stock. You want no part of that, right? Like Vimeo. Do you want
Oh,
you want
man.
you want any part of Vimeo? Canopy Growth, to finish the train of thought on that. I've never been excited about the U.S. About the Canadian manufacturers, and Canopy Growth was just so ahead of itself.
James Hood is an interesting 2022 stock of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you go long Hood, your 2022 stock of the year, what you're betting on is A, for this retail, this trend of retail investors to continue, which I think we can expect that. But then B, for the crypto markets to stay hot. Because if you listened in on Robinhood's earnings calls and guidance, they talked about just how important crypto trading was for bringing in new customers for its business, and not even just cryptos in general. They like singled out Dogecoin and said, hey, from our quarter, from I think it was either the first quarter of 2021 or the second quarter, maybe the one from March to June, that Dogecoin traders made up like a large percentage of Robinhood users. So if you go long Hood, your 2022 stock of the year, you want another wave like that, where maybe it's Dogecoin again, or maybe another coin people rush to from just from the streets, going to download Robinhood.
Yep. But Robinhood is a business that I like could get behind, as opposed to like a DD. Right, like DIDI here. Like, do you want any part of this? They're getting delisted in the U.S. They're probably going to IPO on one of the Chinese exchanges there, and I suppose if you don't sell, you'll get some conversion or whatever. But like, I want no part of that. So there's a lot of good that's been thrown out with the bad this year. Well, let's try to find the good if we can. Born to be Free is talking about SoFi. Yes, SoFi would qualify as a good that has been thrown out with the bad. You guys know I'm long from like 20. So we're at some, or not at, but we're near some, call it generational support. That's maybe a slight exaggeration, but you get the idea there. That's what I'm about right now. I'm trying to find the stocks in growth businesses that have real products and real revenue and are not just concepts that we can get behind for next year. Like Zillow. Like, couldn't you say Zillow is just so oversold?
So I was talking about yesterday.
It's $60. The thing was $200 in February.
I talked about yesterday how one of the industries that I expect to grow over the next 5, 10, 20 years is seeing a lot of these EV charging stations.
Yeah, you did say that.
And someone gave a good point out there that a lot of these EV charging stations will also then rely on solar for power, right? So imagine you go to a charging station. The charging station has solar panels. The solar panels are harvesting energy that will then go into your car. So I think some of these solar and EV charging names have gotten beaten down that I could see, and rightfully so, right? Like the BBB, the Build Back Better that was supposed to pass that didn't, was supposed to be huge for all these. And so yesterday we saw a lot of these names down 10% or so. And they're moving back up today. So I'm looking, Primo Media. I'm looking at ChargePoint. I'm looking at Plug. I'm looking at Sunrun.
Okay.
I'm looking at what are some other?
Okay. Well, here's my next question that I don't think you'll be able to answer, but I'm going to ask it. Is there any ETF that is specific to these names? Because I'd rather just buy. If I'm going to buy them, I'd rather buy them all.
Well, there's TAL or TAN.
No, that's
solar specific, right?
Yeah. Oh well, you're talking about solar, or you're talking about EV charging stations?
Both.
Okay. Because
the EV charging stations will have solar panels.
I just Googled EV charging station ETF. They're also broad. All right, there's nothing specific to charging stations right now. I guess you could do TAN. TAN's such a mover, though. I would love to get Robert Roy's thoughts on all this. Should we bring Robert Roy on?
Yeah,
Robert Roy's here. Wealth Builders HQ joins us every Tuesday. And Rob, the rule for the day, if you're going to come on the show, as we've decided 5 minutes ago, is you have to tell us a favorite stock for next year.
Well, first off, good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well.
Good afternoon.
Favorite
doing
stock for next year? I am a tremendous fan of Netflix. Have been, will be. Remember, I'm in a trading space, not an investing space. So for me, I see and take multiple trades on Netflix, probably to the tune of 5 to 7 a month day trade on Netflix as a singular company. So for me, Netflix is a great day trading company. Would you like me to go into the why?
Yes, please.
So what do we trade? We trade options. When you look at options cost, very inexpensive. Actually, if you want to share my screen,
I do.
I can pull over an option chain, and let's go flip the switch to Netflix and let the option chain tell us why. So here we are. I'm looking at Netflix as an example if I'm looking today. Guys, there are some very specific rules of what you're looking for as an options trader utilizing my system. Number one, I want front week options only. I don't want to go any further than weekly. If it's Friday at 3:50 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to trade the expiration of the 23rd. If it was that Friday, just 10 minutes left, that's the day of the week I'm trading. I'm day trading. I'm not looking to buy more time. So that's number one. Rule number two is I need a delta of 65 to 85. Delta, for those that are not options traders, helps me understand the expectation of how much the option will move for every dollar the stock moves. So if I have a 72 delta, for every dollar the stock moves, the option will roughly, it's not an exact because you have gamma and other factors in there, but roughly it'll move 72 cents per dollar the stock moves. 65 to 85 puts us on the sweet spot of the bell curve. There's a reason for it. It's not just, well, 25 is really cheap. Yeah, you're right, it is, but it's the wrong option for me. Doesn't mean you can't trade it. Because this 72 gives me a 72% chance of having intrinsic value, where the 25 gives me a much lower 25% chance. I also want to see, number three, I want to see open interest of greater than 100. Everything that's in that 65 to 85 range has greater than 100. So all of those fit, but which one? You've got 71, 80, we'll call it just those two. Well, I can go for 1180 or I can go 1573. It would be my cost. I will go for whatever is lowest above that 65. So in this case, it's 71. Now here we are, a $600 stock, and we're looking at $11.50, Spencer, to enter into an option on this trade. So I don't have a lot of cash outlay in order to do this trade. And this is Tuesday. Do this on a Friday and you're at $5 or $6, maybe $7 is your cost if you're doing it on a Friday. So I like Netflix because it has great moves. Let's see, intraday, Netflix on average moves about $17.50 a day. Wilder's average true range is about $17.50. So we've got a tremendous opportunity on Netflix. Let's say I don't get all of it. Let's say that it's moved up $5. I'm going to be $5 away from resistance, and I only pick up $5 or $6 in there. If I have a 70 delta times 5, if I'm only picking up 5, if I have a 70 delta times a $5 move, that's $3.50 per share is what I'm looking at. $350 per contract. So small account, you're looking at $1,100 today, $1,133 today to do a trade on Netflix. Larger account.
How many times a week would you say, or a month, would you say you trade Netflix options?
So in a month, it's probably 7 to 8 times a month. When we look at weekly, that's kind of strange. And I'll show you why. Last week, we traded Netflix. The week before, last year, Netflix on the 10th, on the 9th, on the 7th, on the 6th. Let's see, before that. It's been a little bit before it. So we're back. So I've got to go back here. So it's about a month ago. But I am about 5 to 8 times a month is what we're looking at normally on Netflix.
Okay. All right. Now let me ask you this. Are there any stocks that you invest in but don't trade? Or no, let's rephrase the question. Are there any stocks you invest in, period?
Yes,
Do you have any long-term things?
I do, but I trade against them as well.
Yeah, I love it. Tell us.
All right, SPY,
I love people who trade against them. They hedge themselves all the time. I love it.
SPY.
Okay, I'm with you. So far, so good.
Q2,
Okay.
Berkshire B,
Hey, all right.
and BITO. Those are my
Okay.
long-term holdings.
I would love to know your thoughts on BITO. How has that been from an options standpoint? Because it's relatively new, so
It is right, very new, right? So
it's very new. Yeah.
So we go to BITO,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know why, but it's BITO in my head. So right now it's trading at $30. If I decided to buy this position at $31, if I bought it at $31, I could give somebody the right to take this away. Well, this week we got a shortened week already, but I can give someone the right to take it away at $32. They're going to pay me 18 cents. Not a big premium for this week. We don't really have great delta on it. We're looking for a Spencer. My rule is a delta of about 40. 35 to 40 is what I'm looking to sell. If I go and look at next week, let's see if we get something closer to it. Here's a 39 delta. I can give someone the right by next Friday to take the stock away from me at $32 a share, and they're going to pay me 92 cents. Now, if I think BITO is going to explode, this may not be the right position to do that with. Then I would hold off. I see crypto going up. I just don't see an explosion over the next couple of days and week with the holidays. But this is fine, right? There's nothing wrong here. I mean, you're picking up, let's just call it $1 on $30. So what's that, 1/30th? Is that 3%? Is that about right? A little bit more, 3 and change? It's about 3% for the next 10 days. Not horrible. And then you do it week after week after week after week. Unless you,
I guess the one thing I was curious about, which I can see from the screen here, is just I have no insight into how liquid the options market is for BITO, and so it doesn't look like it's super liquid. But it's not. It's decent open interest. You got decent open interest.
I mean,
yeah.
Now this week. There's good open.
All right. That's not
Next
bad.
week, okay, and that's because you still have. Well, actually, when you get to the out of the money again, you're not bad. You still have a weekend change left.
All right.
Option. So,
All right, not terrible.
It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. Now, listen, It's not the spiders. It's not Apple, right? But what's the number? The number's 100. Right? If I got open interest of 100, I'm great. But I'm doing selling positions here. This is actually something called a covered call, where I buy the stock, the underlying at 30.82. I buy it and I rent the stock out week after week. Right? To me, you will not find a better cash flow strategy than covered calls.
Right, and the idea is income.
The idea is income. I wish, the gentleman that when I took a training back in 1997, which is how I learned to trade options, and I met a gentleman at the training. His name was Vaskin Martin. He's passed on way too early and young in life, but he took me under his wing and said, "Hey, kid, let me show you what I do." And he was a stock trader. The guy was amazing. He owned the pre-penthouse in Manhattan, but he owned both of them. So he broke the wall down and he said, my penthouse, my pre-penthouses are bigger than the penthouse that's up above me. So the guy had some money. And he said to me, don't do cash flow strategies. Just focus on that big hit. Go in there and just try to nail it. And I wish he would have taught me cash flow strategies, because I would have another zero in my account right now if I was just generating 3% a month every single month on my money. I'd have a lot more cash in my account today. Don't get me wrong. I love trading. I love going after the market. I love finding that new candidate, right? It's the hunt for me. And then the attack, the kill. I love it, that piece of it. But the cash flow stuff is boring. It's like watching paint dry, but 3% a month watching paint dry, I'll take it. When you double your account in 2 years, I'll take it.
That's it. That's what makes investing difficult, because investing, when you're doing it right, it's boring. It's hard to do nothing. Doing nothing sucks.
Yep. Yep.
It's
You familiar with
boring.
a guy named Tin Can Kurt? Have you heard that name before? Tin Can Kurt.
No, I don't think.
URT.
Can't say I have.
He passed in 2008. He was homeless, lived on the streets for 30 years. When he died, he left all of his belongings to his cousin, who laughed when he got a call from the attorney. With $1.1 million in stock, $300,000 in gold, $10,000 T-bill, cash in the bank, he went to a library and learned how to buy stock and invest it. We took his account and said, all right, what if you had rented it out? He'd be making $22,000 a month by renting that stock out. Had he done that instead of just sitting on it. And that was at only 2%, which means he doubled his account in about 3.5 years if he did that.
Wow. I never heard that before. All right. So, Rob, and also if you have any questions for Rob Aurora, drop them in the chat. I don't know. I don't think we'll have you on this show next week, right? I think you're out.
Your call. I mean, I'm on vacay this weekend, next week, but I'm here for you guys.
Okay. I'm out next week, so I can't speak to whether or not we're even doing a show. It's not really my problem.
We'll do it in the new year. We'll pick it up in the new year.
So that being said, just in case we don't see you next week, Rob, give us some setups. Give us some ideas you're watching out for the end of this year or for early next year.
So, all right. One of the things that I think everybody needs to focus on, period, the end, bottom line, there is no exception, is everybody should be looking to trade SPY. If you're an options trader, SPY has some phenomenal value benefits to it, right? Right now, we were in a bearish bias on SPY. We've gotten down below all of our moving averages as of yesterday's close. Today we got back up. We're in a bearish neutral, but our two upper moving averages are right above our head. If we close here and get a move back up, we're back in bullish territory. We do have a bit of a wedge formation forming there, which is my only concern. We've got a higher high here than we did here. It's not a big shift, but it is a shift. We do have much higher lows, right? So it's a very wide wedge. But if we can get back above the moving averages, this black line, which is called a Fibit in Fibonacci speak, 466 is our first target, and then 470.5 is our next one. And really, if we get above the highs, I added to my position this morning on SPY. It is a long position that I have that I look to rent out 3 times a week. I look to rent it out every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday because options expire 3 days a week on this position. So if we look at their options, talk about inexpensive in comparison, right? Here's the ones that expire the 22nd, right? Which is tomorrow, right? Wednesday. So I can buy an option that expires tomorrow that fits my criteria for $4. Right? No open interest because they just wrote it today, but there's 41,000 volume on it today. I mean, look at the volume on these things, 53,000, 16,000, 14,000. And then you've got the ones that will expire on the 23rd, the next day, because we don't have a Friday because of Friday being Christmas, right? Right. The opposite where we observe it. So we've got that position there. So SPY, without a doubt, is one of my favorite candidates of all. I trade it all the time. QQQ is the same thing, Spencer. They both have weekly options that expire 3 times a week, right? When it comes to equities to stocks themselves, I'm still in Netflix, as I said it before, is a tremendous company for me. But NVIDIA, again, I'm not worried about is it hitting all-time highs. I'm worried about do I have tradability in this position. The stock is another, under $300, and it moves $17.50 a day from high to low. I've got phenomenal movements that take place inside of here, right? So I like NVIDIA. It gets a little bit more costly than Netflix does when it comes to the options. Let's see. Actually, not bad. My bad. 788. They're actually pretty good. Their vols came down a little. 788 is cost right now. 785. There's a 65 delta, which is why we're right at the base there. So we've got really good opportunity, great volume. Look at the open interest. I mean, the open interest 5,400. The volume of 19,500 today. So huge. Great day traders position, guys. I love both of these. Right.
All right. I dig it.
I'm still an Apple fan. There's great intraday trade setups for Apple, but are there any of them that I look at that, I want to buy these? No, I'm looking at when does recovery come in again, right? I'm talking about airlines. So I love Delta Airlines. When they came out last week, said they were going to be the only U.S. profitable airline next year. There's only one other in the world they said would be profitable next year with Omicron. I like the cruise lines. I like more for the Carnival, Marriott. I'm definitely looking at the recovery stocks like that. I don't see the Pelotons. I don't see the Zooms making huge inroads again. They had their shot, right? They did what they needed to do. They took off, huge money's being made, but I just don't see some of those guys coming back the way that they were to the numbers they hit. Now I could be wrong, but I'm not ready to invest in any of those guys. But when it comes to the Delta Airlines, the American Airlines and such, I will be looking at either covered calls or diagonal spreads, which are known as poor man's covered call.
You're referring to the airlines and the cruise lines, right? Or just American?
No, American. You mean just American? American Airlines as a company, or just American?
Yeah. Just AAL. Sorry.
No, actually, Delta is my favorite.
Okay.
I like Delta the most, and then American on top of that.
Okay. All right. It's so interesting because like the thing about the airlines, like the discourse last year was like, well, do you really think air travel is going away? No, bullish. But then it was like, whoa. Do you really think business travel is coming back to the way it was before? Nope, bearish. And the airlines, they all move in sync, and they never quite were able to get all the way back. They tried earlier this year, but they still have not made back all those losses from the pandemic, and it presents an opportunity depending on your point of view, right? Because if you're bullish, you think, in Delta, I've got $22 left in premium to make up here.
Sure.
So there's certainly more room on the upside.
There is, and for a Delta, I like diagonal spreads or covered calls. They're under $40 now, so either one. But either one of them work. But you can get a decent premium on them. You're looking at 2%, 2.5% a month on a Delta. Again, it's just set it up and walk away. I mean, there's two major questions you've got to ask yourself when it comes to these types of strategies. Number one, do you like getting paid to place the trade instead of you having to pay out, right? And that's where these types of trades come in. You own the equity, and every week you get a paycheck, right? And number two, are you okay earning money, and even though it's boring? Are you okay making getting paid for boredom? I'm good with that. I got enough craziness in my life. I trade Amazon. There's enough happening here that I'm okay backing off to something like this and say, all right, just let it go. It's doing its thing. Position one in the chair, nothing to really worry about. Everything's working good.
Yep. I like getting paid too, Robert. So it's not just you. So,
but many don't. Many people don't. When I say that, they look at it as I don't make enough money. I only made 20 cents. I only made 40 cents a share. And they're not looking at it as it's 7%.
All right, we've got a couple more minutes here with Robert Roy. If you have a question for him, drop him in the chat. Super SPAC, man, your point of view was valid. There's two sides to every coin. Yes, there's more room. You can look at the airlines as having more room to the upside or more room to the downside, depending on your bias, certainly. Point well taken there. What about, as I scroll through the chat here, I want to know what they're watching. That's a funny comment. We can address that after. Not relevant. Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. Here's one actually. You want to look at Dell?
Sure.
Value tech. Oh, Leroy, that's a tough one. Okay. Leroy, we'll do that next. The Dell chart, Robert, is messed up because they did the spin-off.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as it looks.
Right, but well, I'm hitting the letter U on my keyboard because that goes to unsplit and makes it an even flow, and I'm saying, no, that's not what this was.
Yeah, it's because they spun off the VMware thing.
Yeah.
Do we see anything here, or can you, or on the options chain, or not really?
On Dell?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take a look, but right now the news is out, right? On Dell. So the expression is buy on rumor, sell on fact. The fact is out. The news is out. They're done, right? Here's number one problem. They have monthlies available only, not weeklies. So I am very cheap. It's number one. I don't want to spend a lot of cash. I've got to go buy 31 days out. So as a swing trade, yes, you can. But as a day trader, it's got to invest a lot. We've got 1,000 open interest, very low volume on these today, 1 and 2 today. Big volume on the 50 delta, right? Which is where the most traders tend to trade right in that 45 to 55 delta. And what they're doing is they're paying the highest time value. If you're right, wonderful. I'd rather see you trade a 40 delta than a 50 delta any day of the week. I'd rather see you lower your risk in that trade by having less cash outlay. Remember, delta is a probability calculator. If you have a 51 delta, there's a 51% chance this option has cash value come expiration date. Doesn't mean you made money. It could be worth a penny, and the rule is right, 51%. But that means the market maker, it's a coin flip. So they have to increase the cost of the options, adding the cost into the time value because there is no intrinsic value, adding more time value in there. So in case you're right, they're covered. Go out to that 40 delta instead, and I think you'll be much better served. But nothing I see on delta that excites me.
Okay. This one also this one may be tough for you. Jumia, JMIA. This has been so beaten up this year. It's supposedly the Amazon of Africa. Straight down.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I got nothing. I mean, I wouldn't be buying it to go long
It's tough, man.
Yeah, to go long a put option on it. If they're optional.
I'm sure it's expensive.
Well, even so, I mean, how far down can it go? It's at $13. Where does it go? You know, if I buy the at the money option, they do have weeklies. Wow. So, I mean, I can't rent it. I can do let's see. Let's try something nutty. Right? Let's go ahead and 150 days out. We got plenty of put options out here. Oh my goodness gracious. I got to spend $8.33 for a put that's a $13 stock. No, it's nothing. I got nothing on it. You know, if I looked at this and said, what would it take for me to want to trade this? Right? That may be the better thing than just, what do you think about it now? I want to see the moving averages shift. I want to see the 8 moving average get on top. I want to see this 21 be below it. And I want to see the 55 somewhere down below that. And I want to see my stock price break above, come back and retest that moving average and bounce. And that's my entry. Now, for some that are trying to catch that explosive move, that's not the way for you to do it, right? You're looking at, I want to get in early and be that first one or the second or third person that gets in and I hit the home run right out of the box. I'm not trying for a home run. I want to get on base a lot of times. I want a higher batting average. I'll take a lower return. I know that I will win the game. I can tell you from experience, Spencer, that companies that do what I do, their average student lasts about a year with them because the programs that they offer are a year long. After that, the person's done and they walk away and they usually are not trading again. Yeah. For us, our customers, our students stick around for about 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
So we just, and this is going back from with the company I taught before, from 2004, right? We've seen it. I mean, we know the history. We teach people how to trade. We teach them how to trade to a point that they can do this consistently and they're not getting their heads handed to them. And look, guys, on days like today, with these big moves that took place on the S&P, why go nuts, right? I know you don't talk much on it here, Spencer, but actually, it's not wrong tab. Let's see right here. This is the YM, which is the futures market for the Dow. I like trading Dow versus the ES. You don't have buy and sell programs that automatically kick in the same way. It's a much better vehicle. So this morning, I waited for the first 15 minutes to pass. I got 952 was an entry, 1 minute candle. These are pivot points, by the way, guys. Right? I took my first exit at the halfway mark. I took the second exit just under the next pivot point there. I think we took it at about 100-point move, so about 50. Right? So altogether, what was that? About $725 move this morning from 952 till 10, call it 10:12. Make it easy numbers, about 20 minutes. There's always something to trade. It's just a matter of how do I identify a market that fits my risk profile, doesn't put a large portion of my cash and or account at risk, and have a series of rules that we go ahead and trade over and over and over again.
Let's do one more here, Robert. Let's do Lucid Motors, LCID.
All right, so Lucid Motors has same scenario, had a great run up, right? If we go back and look, here's their all-time highs, which takes them back about 65-ish. They pushed up to that 57.75. And just look at the pattern right now. They are in a bearish bias. They're below the lowest moving average, but they're not in the moving averages are not in the right order. So it's this move down is what drove it, right? There was the moving average cross was right there. If we can get back up above that 44 and jingle level, we'll see those moving averages shift again back to the upside. So here's what I'm looking for. Two things. I am not in love with Lucid that I want it to go up. I really could care less about that. If it breaks, retest the 35.72 and fails, there's the bearish entry right there, if that's the way it plays out. If the moving averages shift back up again and we wind up with our 8 moving average up here and we can get our position back up above it, retest and bounce, 44 is the bounce. I'm looking at 49 as my first target. I'm not going to get $5. I'm not going to get 44 to 49. I'm going to get in at 45 and out at 48 or something. I'll get $2 or $3 inside of there. But that's all I want is small piece of that meat in the middle. I'm not looking for the whole thing. So where it's sitting at right now, Spencer, we've got a rectangle going on. Until we can break that rectangle, there's no strong trade setup. One question: what compelling reason is there to take an entry now? I don't have it yet.
That sums it up, right? Why now? Why does it have to be now? Robert Roy, he runs his course. His room is at WealthbuildersHQ.com. Rob, I definitely won't see you because I'll be out next week. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. I'll catch you again in 2022.
You as well, Spencer. Hey, listen, guys, if you go over to tradinglikeaboss.com, there's
tradinglikeaboss.com.
Tradinglikeaboss.com. There's some free resources there, guys. There's a trade that we do. It's a zero line breakout. We do it a couple times a week. We publish video on it. It just gets you access to those videos. If you want to learn how I use fibs, there's training on there. There's a free hourly training we do every week. All the stuff on here is free, guys. These are resources that will help jumpstart you. I can cut 3 months off of your learning curve with these 3 resources that we've got right here.
All right.
Just this one page.
Tradingwiththeboss.com. Thanks a lot, Rob. Have a good one.
You too, guys. Take care.
Alrighty. Hey, let's bring on Christian Fromhertz. He made the astute observation on Twitter a little while ago that, look at growth stocks. They're waking up today for the first time in 9, 10, 11 months. Maybe not. That's a bit of an exaggeration. Christian Fromhertz runs the Tribeca Trade Group, joining us now on Benzinga Live. Christian, what's up, man? How we doing?
Hey, Spencer. What's going on? How you doing?
Good. How's your day? How's your week going? How's your month going?
Not bad. I see what happens when I come on and see what the market does. This is, you got to have me on a little more often if you want them. No, I'm just kidding. You're just
fading the moves, man. It goes up, you sell. It goes down, you buy. It's one of the just chop. Yes.
Yes. One of your colleagues has been just absolutely spot on with that the last couple of weeks. I mean, that's the market that we've been dealing with, is that there just hasn't been a lot of consistency And I'm speaking of Dennis, of course, and he's just been right on about, hey, when you've got a nice bounce in this market, and when you're in the type of market that we're in right now, which has just been, I'll say the B word, it's been bad breath, and it's been just lack of continuation. So, until we see things change, and today we're getting some really nice participation, and it's the opposite of that. It's very good breath today, but one day is not a trend, and our job as traders and risk managers is to continue to monitor what we've got going on. So yes, I mean, obviously, I hope that this continues, and we look at various different setups and as confirmation and so forth. But yeah, that's absolutely been the market, has been to say, in a whippy market, not to chase the green, and to buy the dip a little bit in names that are in uptrends, and names that are in downtrends, sell the rip. So that seems the Dennis version, right, of it, and I agree with him. So but we could definitely go over some setups and a couple of things that I've noticed the last couple of days that have been a little bit
I would love to, and I think no sector epitomizes that today more than the staples, right? Because they've been, the XLP and some of the stocks in it have been your leading performers for the month.
Right.
And
really exciting, right? The consumer staples.
Sure, why not? Food, cereal,
drugstores,
grocery stores.
Right.
Yeah, what's wrong with Clorox?
Right, exactly. Paper towels, Clorox, having family over. It's
Yeah. Anyway, the XLP is your leader. At least last I checked, it was your leader downward today. So.
Well, that's a good sign. So can I share my screen and
you can share your screen. You can just click
right.
share and show us what we're looking at here.
Let me just bring this over. So I'm just going to look to the side here for a second, just so I get the right screen going. All right, there we go.
Hey.
Yeah. So is that good? Can you see?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so something like that, this is a good name to kind of watch in terms of, so this is Procter & Gamble, and of course I was joking around about the paper towels and so forth, but, I think this is something to watch. I mean, this has just been an indication of kind of risk off of, trade, investors going into Procter & Gamble. So this is a good thing to see this cool off a little bit, and to see some of those other names, not just the staples, but the utilities as well. Those have been really strong. Just the low volatility equities in general, right? Coming into this week, that was the market leadership. And really that's, my opinion has been of this group is that if you could play if you could participate in some of these names, even though, these may not be your bread and butter names and your popular names, but if you can make a little bit of money because the options are not cheap, the options are cheap in names like this, then so be it, and healthcare is another one too. So to see this back off a little bit is actually, in my opinion, a good sign. And it doesn't just, necessarily mean like that we're going to see these things go down all the way, but just to see that it's the equivalent of like saying, taking your foot off the gas in terms of these low volatility names and seeing a little bit of a rotation back into some higher beta areas of the market. So
yeah, but it only works, Christian, if you're seeing the money move elsewhere. Now today that is the case, right? Because a lot of tech is higher. Yeah. But if for whatever reason tech was also down today, that would be like a screaming red flag.
Yeah, I mean that just means that we're it's 100% risk off. There's no rotation in the market other than rotation out of the market. So yeah, I mean these are the things that we've been really kind of paying close attention to over the last week. Last week was a very noisy week too, with quadruple witching and the index rebalancing and so forth. So I thought kind of coming into last week and with the Fed meeting as well, that it was one of those weeks to say, hey, let's observe and kind of watch things. And, my feel for last week was, let some of these events unfold, try not to get too caught up in it, and try not to really hurt your confidence too with, the whippy moves that we were seeing on a day-to-day basis.
Yep. All right. So let's move away from,
Yeah.
That's what is that? The XLV? Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah, that's the XLV. Yeah.
Okay. If we can, I would love to drill down within the sectors here and
Yeah.
get some names that are on your radar. Is that Alcoa? Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Alcoa. So, kind of coming into every day, what we try to do is, have a watch list of names that are showing some signs of life, that are showing some relative strength is a big thing for me. We want, wanting to find names that, I use a proprietary indicator called the market webs, which looks at volume at price, which tells me when we've got a break above, a range basically, and for a name that's doing something different. But you could use the moving averages too. But Alcoa, while the market was weak last week, was just showing signs that it was doing something different. And you can see that this name is right back pushing to new highs. So, it doesn't take long for some of these names that have been doing this, right? That have been showing the relative strength to get back to new highs. So, that's one area that I think is kind of interesting for the day. If a little bit of a name further down in that group is FCX, right? So I would be waiting for a break above 39.50 for FCX. But it's nice to see this participation and the breadth. What I find interesting is, we've got a big move going on in the reopening trade. Live Nation is a name too that's kind of sat a little bit below the 50-day moving average. I like this better than the airlines. I don't really like to play or trade that many names that are in downtrends, other than you could trade anything that's in a downtrend for a day trade, right? For a nice sharp move for the day. But my feeling is, because I'm a trend trader, is that names that are in downtrends are going to have a hard time getting out of the downtrends. I would rather stick with the names that have been kind of resting the last couple weeks. But this Live Nation is a good example of relative strength and a reopening. So I find this very interesting that, while we're listening to the news about the new COVID variant, and we're still getting the information, about how severe this thing is going to be. And, I think some of which, is going to take time when we hear about if there's going to be very little hospitalizations, which is a good thing. But something like this to me just sticks out like a sore thumb, right? Live Nation is up 6.7% and looks very strong here.
So here is ultimately why I don't think that the United States stock market cares about the Omicron variant, or that U.S. investors don't care about Omicron. And it comes back to this chart, and actually comes back to the entire market today, right? On a day when the market is down, like yesterday, Omicron fears weigh on market.
Right.
What do you say today, though? What do you say today when we're broadly higher across the board? What do you say today when stock like Live Nation, one of the purest reopening, get out of your house and do stuff names, is up 6%, right? I mean, the airlines are up today. And you get names like Zoom, which are in the green but underperforming the broader market.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't see. I just don't think investors, and this is, different segments of the population have different beliefs, but I just think, broadly speaking, investors don't care, or maybe it's even traders, or even the bots that are trading the market right now don't care, and are not factoring in Omicron into their decision making process.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes, what we do is, I think, one of the most interesting jobs out there. Looking through what we had, kind of coming into the week, that was, of course, headline filled in terms of, which is not always the way the market is going to move. But things like Moderna and Zoom video, right? They popped and they dropped, and as we've been seeing this, since COVID first came about, it seems that it's been diminishing returns in some of these areas. And this was something that we talked about right in the beginning of the day yesterday, that, and there was news out for Moderna too. I think it was Moderna and Pfizer saying that the booster shot is kind of a, for lack of the scientific terms, I will just say that, it's better than, that the results were pretty good, right, for
Right.
the booster. But yeah, we saw the drop, and this is why I use the indicator that's on my screen, is that we look for areas where there's been a lot of volume before that you could see basically a rally into, and then you want to see it carry through, which is what we did not see. And that was a great area that if you were long Moderna, you got a really nice day, a really nice trade. Basically moved from 290 to 320. You take your profits and you put it in your pocket and then see what happens around this 320. So I thought this selling off, as well as a name that you just mentioned, Zoom too, which I actually traded this on Friday. And going back to what I said earlier, is that I'm happy to trade some of these names that are in deep downtrends for a day trade. But I have a hard time thinking that this is going to be the area where Zoom video turns around. And sure enough, it worked on Friday. I was debating in my mind, because I didn't want to have a lot of exposure going into Monday, but I did not trade it on Monday and just watched that. There wasn't much life to it, and that was kind of one of the things that I said, okay, that's good in terms of what we want to see overall in the market. Is I don't think that we want to see all these stay-at-home trades begin to work, because then we've got bigger things on our hands, right?
Yeah. I would love your thoughts on Pfizer, Christian. I've sort of been watching and waiting. When the heck is Pfizer going to stop making new all-time highs? Well, it stopped today.
It did, and it's kind of the similar situation with Moderna, but it's been acting very well too, because last week I think it acted so well because the group, if you go back to that healthcare ETF, other things like an Allergan, or sorry, not Allergan.
Wait, is Allergan still public, or do they get bought?
I get these names confused all the time. AbbVie, has been super strong, and so I think Pfizer also just benefited from being in the group, and I think that you kind of take some profits into this, and the next level to watch is 6140, which would be the next leg higher. But I think it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing here either if this thing consolidates a little bit. Just like kind of it did previously, maybe waits for the 20-day moving average to kind of catch up with the price action, and then we'll see how it responds from there. But I think this was a great, rip to take some profits into, similar to that XLV ETF.
Nice. All right, if you have any tickers for Christian, drop them in the chat. He'll be on with us for a few more minutes. Christian, anything else that's on your radar?
Yes.
Heading into the end of the week, long weekend, lighter volume, obviously, for the rest of the year.
Well, there's so many names. There's so many growth names that have kind of perked up today. I like to look for the relative strength. I like this. This was a name that was actually not on my radar until one of our members brought this to my attention yesterday. This was a name that had great earnings, right? This is New Relic, big pop
New
on
Relic.
earnings.
All right, not one I'm super familiar with. What do you know about this besides the chart?
What is the mic? I don't know what they did. I'm just kidding. So this is another. This is another software play. It's another software play. It's a database name, which we know about 20 of these names too. So where I really kind of separate the names is the price action, and I like the fact that this thing, just as we were talking about Pfizer, the 50-day moving average did have a chance to kind of catch up here. It didn't fill the whole earnings gap, which is fine. But notice how it's above all the short-term moving averages again. And I think this thing could rally another $5 into 112. And then we kind of have to see what it does from there. If I could just continue with a couple more names.
Please.
That are similar. And MDB was another name that had really good earnings. And notice that it doesn't look like a bunch of the other names. Like, not to say anything bad about a Salesforce, or Salesforce or some of these other names that they've gotten decimated, and they're probably going to need some time to rebuild. I would rather just watch these names and not have to get involved. Like, I don't view these things, coming down this far as a buying opportunity. I view it as weakness. So something like this, which is kind of in that space, it's a little bit of a different, not exactly the same business, but it is software and a little bit of of cyber too. But look at how well this thing has held up, right? It hasn't broken down, which is a good thing. And now when you notice that this group is strong, this thing's up almost 7% for the day, right? And now we've got a level to trade against. So provided that, it's 130 now, provided that we get a close right around this area where we're above all the short-term moving averages, which is a sign of strength, and we're inside value now for the month. So I think 518 is a level that you can position against. I like easy trades as well. I like that if I get into a trade and I've got a level of support right there and it doesn't hold, I'm out, right? There's no questions asked. Right.
That's fair. Let's look at some tickers from the chat if we can, Christian.
Please.
Chris Papandreas wants you to look at NVIDIA.
Yeah, that's a great one to look at. I was getting really worried about this one as we got towards the end of the week. I'm still a bit worried about it. On the positive side, it's hanging on to the 50-day moving average. And I think if it doesn't hang on to the 50-day moving average, I think you have to reassess. Right now, for me, it's kind of caught in the middle. It's above the 50-day moving average. You can see I've got a downtrend line that is drawn as well. So I would really like NVIDIA to get back above 294. That would be kind of a confirmation level to say, hey, there's strength and there's buyers coming back into this. So I do a lot of setting alerts, on a day-to-day basis, because we can't watch every single one of these names. There's so many growth names out there. There's been other areas of the market participating, that we just talked about. And I think just having alerts set on pivot areas is an important thing, because we just can't watch any of these names. And if you set an alert where you think it's an important level, then you can kind of continue to play other names and wait for NVIDIA to kind of do its thing and wait for those buyers to come back in.
What about Sam Adams? The stock has been so punished. It doesn't fit the growth tech theme, but it doesn't matter. It's been a brutal year.
And for the record, full disclosure, I am a fan of Sam Adams. I love the winter brew, Oktoberfest.
Sure, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, so this has been an interesting one. It seems to be showing some life to it. It had some really nice strength the last couple weeks. We've watched this thing go down, and now it's finally doing something different. So I still think my instincts tell me that it's going to take a while for this name to continue to recover, but at least now you have a level to trade against. Because my concern would be that you've got some strength, but my concern is that it would fall back and go back into its downtrend. I think 500 is a great level to say, hey, I'm going to give this a shot to kind of, even though it's in a downtrend, I'm going to give this a shot to recover. And I know exactly where it's going to fail or turn back down, and that would be the 500 level. And you could upside target. I would target 576 and then 634.
Okay, a couple more here. What about PayPal? I'm sorry, everyone at PayPal. I feel terrible because I think it's a great company, and it probably didn't deserve this. But what difference? What difference does it make?
Well, here's another one too that it's gotten so the weakness is not a good thing, right? So again, some feel, oh, I got a great dip to buy in PayPal, but I think this is a sign of weakness. You could see the stock's up 2.6% today, so I don't know if this would be a rip to sell. I would say this is that either using a low of 185, because if it starts to kind of drift back below here, then I think it could actually be a short. Not that I would short PayPal, but just from a technical standpoint, and I would watch the low that it also made back on 12.1. But I think for long term, like this is, in my opinion, it's going to take a while. I don't think we get a V recovery out of PayPal, but again, I don't like to make
let's be honest. How often do V bottoms actually happen? More often than not, it just takes a while.
It does. Yeah.
Last year notwithstanding, right? We had a V bottom in March of last year, but that notwithstanding, it usually just takes time.
Right.
You got to have seller exhaustion.
And that's a great point to mention too, because my time frame is I do a lot of swing trading. A lot of times it's short-term swing trading, but really it depends on your time frame. So if you're a long-term investor, like then I think you still want to pay attention to levels, because if this thing starts to break the 180 level, then you got to worry about this stuff down here. So it still makes sense to pay attention to the technicals, but everybody has a different time frame. My time frame is pretty short term. That's short term swing trading, as well as I do long term swing trading as well. But I mean, and I was looking at a name too, right? I like the strength that we're starting to see a little bit of money come back into biotech. Like here's a good example: BioMarin, right? Mm-hmm. Big fall. Now, not the same, pounding that it got for like PayPal for like a couple months, but look at this thing base, right? So this is what you want to see after a name goes down a lot or has been in a downtrend for a while. It usually has to base for a little while, and then it will start to kind of recover. And the other thing is too with this name that I actually bought a little bit of this today. Now that it's been going sideways, it didn't take much for the price to get back above the moving averages, the 200-day moving average. So at least, and I'm trading this versus basically $87. But this is how, going to your point, I think how most names are going to react after they've gone down, an awful lot. The V recoveries can happen, but it's difficult.
Mm-hmm. This is BMRN. This is BioMarin. Christian in the chat. Christian Fromhertz is the CEO of Tribeca Trade Group. His Twitter handle is at C Fromhertz. I'll put it up on the screen right now. He has a great follow. Let me make sure I spelled that right. I did not. C Fromhertz. There it is. Check him out on Twitter. The guy's dropping tidbits and knowledge and headlines and charts all day, every day. And he joins us every week, and we thank him for his insights. Christian, as always, happy Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. We'll talk to you again into the new year, and good luck out there, man. Thanks for coming on.
Look forward to it, guys. Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
All right. Have a good one. Okay, we're going to have Tim Quast on the show in 5 or so minutes. In the meantime, I was asked by our very own producer, Enver, to please make another plug for the end of year Benzinga YouTube survey. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen right now and put the link in the chat one more time. If you want to give us feedback, we would very, very much appreciate your feedback on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to put the link in the chat. Where's the small link? Where's the bit.ly? There's the bit.ly. I'm going to put the small link in the chat. Anonymous survey. We're not taking your information at all. Please give us feedback so we can get better, because we want to get better, and we only get better by knowing what we're not good at. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to have Tim Quast on in a few minutes. And the last thing I want to do, well, not last thing, but before I forget, because I definitely don't want to forget today, is I want to tell you all about today's sponsor, which is, of course, Knightscope. Yeah, they're up on the screen right there. Now, check it out. That link on the screen is startengine.com/Knightscope. And here's the situation here. Knightscope is a fully autonomous security robotic company. They've generated over $13 million in lifetime sales and over 1 million hours of field operation. They recently announced the commencement of their Reg A Plus offering. So they've got over 28,000 investors and over $100 million already raised. Here's how you can learn more. You can click on several links that I'm going to put in the chat right now. Link number 1 is startengine.com/Knightscope, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. There it is. Check it out to learn more about the offering. You can go to this link as well, which has more information on what's in the offering, the terms of the deal, that sort of thing. Link number 2. And of course, I'm obligated to let you know about the risks of a Reg A Plus offering, any offering. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. And last but not least, disclaimer, as always. There we go. Okay. And then I will get to the questions in the chat. What was the question, Shelley? Do I think, or not Shelley, Patrick, do I think 3D companies could be a metaverse play? Yeah, I think you asked this earlier, Patrick. So here's the thing about 3D companies, right? Is like, I remember you asked us this morning because I looked at it after you asked, and let's pull up some charts here. So a lot of the metaverse mania, for the moment, what's up, Aaron? For the moment, it looked like it kind of topped out like a month or so ago. So let's just pull up as a proxy for the metaverse hype. Let's pull up the Metaverse ETF, right? Which is ticker Meta, which they beat Facebook to the punch there.
We were talking about Unity earlier too.
Yeah. So
I like Unity.
So here's what I wanted to do though. So the Metaverse hype kind of topped out like a month ago, but let's just compare the performance of Meta with 3D and what are the other one? SSYS, right? Are those the main two 3D plays? And I'm pretty sure those are your main EV names. And let's just like kind of look at the trend here. So SSYS in blue, 3D in purple, they both topped out before Meta. There is some correlation here, but I don't want to put too much into that because 3D printing and the metaverse are, at the end of the day, both growth tech, and so they kind of just move with the rest of that trade, and that trade has come off, obviously, in the last couple of weeks. I don't know enough about the fundamentals about either of these 3D printing names, and if there's another one you're referring to, please drop it in the chat for me. But SSYS and DDD are kind of the only two 3D printing names that I'm aware of, Patrick. So could they be involved? Yeah. I don't know if they are involved, if they have deals. The metaverse is such a new idea in terms of capital markets that I don't think anybody really knows, to be honest. If I had to play this, I would play it via the Metaverse ETF. That's my style, right? My style is, okay, I don't know diddly squat here. I'm going to just diversify. I'm going to throw eggs in 20 different baskets. You know, you've got Facebook, you've got Unity,
Meta,
Roblox, all these names, all doing cool things. Nike is mentioned in the metaverse. Disney is mentioned in the metaverse.
All right, here, I'll give you my AB's Metaverse ETF.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, 20% Apple.
Okay.
20% Meta platforms.
Yeah.
20% Roblox.
Okay, that's 60.
20% Unity.
That's 80.
And
equal weight. I dig it.
who am I missing? Hold on. Facebook, Apple, Roblox, Unity, 20% Nvidia. Boom.
Okay. Equal weight index.
I bet you my ETF outperforms Meta over the next year.
Oh. Let's put that in a watch list.
Can we talk to? How do I start making my own ETFs?
We can connect you with an ETF provider. Actually, I'm sure Tim Quast knows.
What if I just open a portfolio of like an account of an ETF, like I name it my X ETF, and then after like a year I can say, hey, look, this was my return on this.
So they're not an actual. See, the problem with an ETF is you have to launch it with seed capital. You have to have money lined up. It's one of the many. But
I don't care if other people buy the ETF. I just want to say, look
okay,
how my positions outperformed.
So you don't want to make an index. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want to make the Aaron Bree Metaverse Index.
Yep. 20. Yep. Equal holdings: Nvidia, Apple, Meta, Roblox, Unity. Those are the big five. Those are my
Okay.
big five.
Hey, you heard it here first. We'll have to make it. We'll make the Aaron Bree Metaverse Index. All right.
All right. Oh, I can make it in eToro. That's a good idea.
Hi, Patrick. You're onto something. Let's bring on Tim Quast from Market Structure Eds to hang out with us for a few minutes. Tim, what's up, man? How you doing?
Well, thank you. Well, AB, I hate to tell you, but you already blew it. Because if you want to license an index, you can't tell people what's in it. You want to. So you have to say, if you want to be part of the AB index, you're going to have to pay me because I use proprietary intellectual property called my brain to come up with the composition that you want, and which is the reason you'll pay
Well,
me.
Tim, that's
He's
just
not going to do an ETF. He'll just do an index.
Tim. That's just the AB Meta ETF, and I'm willing to
Okay,
give that
okay.
as a taste, a little
teaser. Okay, that's
tease, and then if you want the other ETFs, if you want the
Okay.
other indexes or indices, the other AB indices, you'll have to pay for the licensing.
Okay, that's the entry level product. That's the free.
Yeah, it's the
entry-level
freemium
product, not
model.
the good
We're doing
stuff,
freemium
though.
model.
You don't want to know what else is in his brain. It's so much.
There's a lot. Yeah.
The market is not ready for that, Aaron. The market is not ready for what's in your brain. All right, Tim, what's on your mind here today?
Counterparty Tuesday. So
Of course.
that is what is always on our minds here at Market Structure Edge and Modern IR. The Tuesday following an expiration cycle, and of course nobody talks about it. And you say you bring me on to talk about what nobody else talks about. So if I just say, well, it's Omicron fears, easing Omicron fears, everybody's afraid of the Fed. Oh no, wait, we love the Fed. All of that. That is not it. It is market structure, but today it would be Counterparty Tuesday. And you would, of course, boom, ching, ask me what?
What is that, Tim?
There you go. There
What
you
is
go.
Counterparty
Exactly.
Tuesday? Hey,
So,
I'm here all week.
So traders, this is stuff you should know. If you're a farmer, you're going to know if you're farming in Eastern Washington that you want to have your wheat up before October 1st, because otherwise it might start to freeze. Well,
Counterparty Wednesday. Oh.
Anyway, Counterparty Wednesday. So in the stock market, you should know what's happening around you so that you're not caught by those things. And so Counterparty Tuesday, it's a term, it's a label that we created to put on this day that follows the expiration of a cycle of derivatives. And realize this is not a sideshow. 20% of the market's capitalization, do the math. So if it's $50 trillion of market cap, 10 trillion of it depends on derivatives. Well, that's a big deal. So a series expires, and then a new series trades the following Monday. That was yesterday. I noted, Spencer, you and I talked about this on pre-market prep, that there was a big drop in ETF demand last week. So what would we expect? Well, the market probably goes down. But then counterparties who either absorb those losses or now have a book of business that says, oh, we want to get into new derivatives, that stuff then surges the market today ahead of what happens tomorrow, which are VIX expirations. And it could, again, traders, be a decent day, because when the market is volatile, there is outsized demand for volatility hedges, which prompts banks to have to buy some portion of the underlying assets. Particularly, perhaps it'll tell us. We'll see which direction that demand is going by what stuff goes up and what stuff doesn't tomorrow. But these are very important concepts, traders, because otherwise you're just wandering around with no idea if you're about to step off a precipice. And you don't want to be in that situation. You want to be aware of your surroundings and know when there is a better probability of a long or a short trade that isn't going to catch you out because something you don't see or understand is happening.
Can we get a visual representation of this, please?
Yes, we can. So
Excellent.
If you guys want to do this yourselves, if you're following along here and you haven't done this, go to marketstructureedge.com. You could sign up, name an email. You don't need a credit card, and so you can just follow along. And I'll show you a couple of things that are important to know. So here's how we think about this. I'm going to hide that. We don't want to stare at my face very long. You were talking about these stocks, and we'll take a look at them, by the way. So Unity, here's a great example. If you want to know when to buy.
Wait, Unity's ticker U.
And
Oh,
also
is it wrong?
20% of the AB Metaverse E ETF.
Okay, so let's go to Unity, not I, but Y. That's the distinct,
Yes.
If here you want to think about supply and demand. That to me is very important.
Holy cow.
Right. So if you're interested in Unity, now is not the time. There will be a time. Realize that you can't buy or sell things that other people aren't buying or selling. You can only buy or sell them at better times than everybody else. And the key to that is supply and demand. That's really what the market's about. You want to know where supply and demand is when options expire. What are things doing? Well, so Unity here is a 1 out of 10 from a demand perspective. No good. That's not good. And from a supply side, while the trend is down, the last few days here during options expirations, those levels have risen. And so that's why the price is lagged. You have more supply, no increase in demand, the price will go down. But the moment those reverse, so if this line, you're following along, if you just signed up for Market Structure Edge, you've got 14 days to do this, just watch this. And if this number comes down to trend, and if this number ticks up, there you go. Now you have an opportunity for gains, and you know something somebody else doesn't know, supply and demand. It's the most basic and original economics concept, supply and demand. You want to buy rising demand and constrained supply, like buying French fries. Right now would be a good idea.
I know you typically rely on 5 as your bogey, right?
Yep.
But that being said, does it have to get there? I mean, rising is rising.
Right.
It doesn't matter where it starts from, right?
Right. It's merely the degree of risk. So
Sure.
You have less risk buying things that are above 5 than those that are below, because who knows if it even gets back to 5. And all we're doing, by the way, is we're saying, let's call demand a 10-point scale. That's what we took the data. There's underlying data about the movement of behaviors behind price and volume, and we normalize that to a 10-point scale. So what you're doing is you take a higher risk when you buy demand that's at 1, because maybe it doesn't move. So that's why we say buying it when it's above 5 is better. And notice the price. Look at Unity. So even though short volume was pretty high, right here, this decline to the trend and rising demand gave us gains. And the moment that stops, that's where you leave. Notice that? So it gets to 10, and then supply begins to rise. Well, there's your exit, traders. Leave. And you would have made some very nice gains, and you would have avoided all of these declines. And that's what you want to do. We call that take gains, not chances. And all you're doing is using supply and demand to tell you when to do that. And that will be true in any condition. It doesn't matter what the Fed is saying, what's happening with coronaviruses. And there are hundreds and hundreds of coronaviruses. We're going to have to live with it. Doesn't matter what's going on. There will always be supply and demand. And this is a timeless principle that you can use to help you know. And so AB, you could, if you're publishing, index intellectual property on the Metaverse play, you can enhance your outcome by saying, I'm putting out word only when all the demand sides looks good, right?
Right. We can team up on this, Tim. And you mentioned the multitude of different coronaviruses out there. There is a AB coronavirus ETF as well.
Okay.
So we do have a lot of them, and we'll need that.
Can I guess what's in it? Is it like ramen noodles and mac and cheese, Kraft mac and cheese, and
toilet paper? Paper towels.
Am I on the right track?
Clorox wipes, all those kind of things. I have a COVID-19 portfolio too. So, there are 11 stocks in it. Tech is the lead sector in that portfolio. The lead behavior is fast trading. That's Citadel. They're in cash before the market closes. They don't own anything at the end of the day. There is a rise in the demand side and a fall in the supply side, but notice it's not very strong. So I'm going to be very selective about trading COVID-19 stuff. And right there, it tells you, okay, we're not really in the grips and throes of huge COVID-19 fear, because if we were, the data would tell us so. I don't see that. Here's something interesting though. Look at this. Look at crypto. Crypto's a 1, but look at the supply side. So crypto stocks are a 1 on the floor, but if the supply side falls, could we get a crypto surge? We might. I mean, you want those little tells. You want a little edge that will tell you, well, what's the money thinking? And there's something to think about.
All right. Before I forget, because I will forget, Tim, Melanie wants you to address the art behind you. So
Melanie.
What the heck? What is behind you now?
So this is an original art piece, but it is not Picasso. It is Stefan Geisbuehler, and so he's had some notoriety, and we know him personally, and we have some of his art in our house, and we have quite a number here in the office in the conference room, and we just love his work. So we like to support local artists, and he's a good one, and that's what it is.
Yeah, but Tim, how many NFTs has he ever minted?
Sadly, Stefan is out of step with I should check in with him. Maybe he's not. But there are no Geisbuehler NFTs at this point. Maybe I should do that.
Maybe we can arrange that. Maybe we can arrange that. All right. Tim Quast, founder of Market Structure Edge, joins us every week on this show. Tim, I don't think we'll talk to you on this show next week.
Right.
And we definitely won't talk to you on Friday because market's closed.
We're all gone.
Friday, so
Market's
we're all
closed.
gone. So
That's right. Yep.
we will see you. Well, actually, I won't see you, but we will have a pre-market prep next Monday if you're around for that. I won't be there, but the rest of the guys will be there. So I won't see you until the new year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you again in 2022.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too. Thanks,
All right.
Spencer. So it's been great fun hanging out with you. Thank you very much.
Always fun with Tim, and I always learn something that's not about the market. Today I learned about art. Oftentimes it's some obscure Nietzsche quote or something. I don't know, but Tim's always coming at us from a different angle, and we love it. So have a good one, Tim.
Thank you very much. You guys too. See you.
All right. And just to be clear, actually, I don't even want to address that. Never mind. Okay. It is 1:58. We got 2 minutes until we got to wrap and go to the roadmap. They have to talk about. Well, speaking of NFTs and Tim's artist friend, the roadmap is our NFT show. And I would probably. Here's what I want to say about the roadmap. It's probably after this show, obviously, like our most fun show, because the stuff that they talk about is so out there, and they're really good at explaining like what the hell is going on, but explaining it simply. So if you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend just check out one show. It's called The Roadmap. It's live every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. And Miles and Chris know what they're talking about, and they're playing along, or I shouldn't say playing. They're investing or trading along. They're in it, right? They're in the game. So the roadmap live next. Stay tuned for that. Can you double check the redirect?
Yeah, I'll double check that. And then we also have the Joe Biden speech starting at 12:30. We'll be streaming
2:30.
that. What did I say?
12:30.
I meant 2:30.
Yep.
So I from what we can tell, it looks like it's mostly going to be about Omicron, what steps the federal government's going to take.
But we're not shutting down, they said.
Right. I think it's going to be more about testing. They said free rapid tests. They're deploying some extra help in certain states that are getting hit hard right now. But what I'm curious about is, I guess Tiny Pie said there's a funny kid behind us. I was kidding. Is there a chance that, I know it's mostly going to be about Omicron and COVID, is there a chance he addresses the Build Back Better?
No.
Okay.
Quick PSA. There is not going to be a Benzinga live tomorrow. Aaron Bree will be out, and I will also be out now. So no Benzinga live tomorrow, but we're still doing pre-market prep. We're still doing live trading. Just no Benzinga live tomorrow. But we got to wrap. I'm going to end the show today with a commercial for our final event of the year, the last Benzinga Bootcamp. It's going to be a week from tomorrow, 1 week from tomorrow, Wednesday, December 29th. Did I get that right? 9th. Yes. Okay. Check it out. This video will tell you more.